So, Spencer, your computer isn't... we don't have to worry about that tonight, do we?
Nope, not tonight.
Yeah,
the old girl
we've had our fair share of oh, the lights are going out.
That's our next
That's
problem.
the Deluminator. Ron must be around here. Bappity rappity, do buddy. It's your chair.
I just want to say that Mike Schubert.
Who's Mike Schubert?
He's wrong. It's the Deluminator, and that's why. That's what it is. It's not the Put Outer. He's a podcaster.
He calls it the Put Outer?
Because that's what it was referred to originally in the first book. But then she named it something different. And he got... Oh. It was one of his bits. Like, well, it's always going to be the Put Outer to me.
It doesn't matter.
It was an annoying little...
Deathly Hallows says it's the Deluminator,
yeah,
so there you go. I don't know you, but you're wrong. And that's the end of it.
That's right. He is wrong. He's a full-time
contrarian.
Podcaster. He does the Potterless podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. He's kind of gotten too tropey.
Tropey?
Yeah, too tropey. Just kind of, a little too... Like, I'm all for being woke, but he goes out of his way to remind you and just thinks that JK is the worst because of some of her opinions. Like, that's the worst thing in the world, and she's like...
We haven't even spoken about any of that throughout this whole thing.
I don't think we will. But, are you recording?
I am.
Good, because we got walking, talking, apparating, camping, all of this and more on this edition of Sequel Man the Podcast.
Coming at you, not live from Godric's Hollow. Two men talk about the films you care about. Or don't. It's the Sequel Man Podcast, and it starts right now.
Welcome back to another... Sorry. Damn it! Welcome back to another new episode of Sequel Men the Podcast. My name is Christian Bring It All, and with me, as always, is my good buddy sitting across the aisle from here. Except we're on the same political spectrum. What's your name?
Hey.
State your name.
Spencer, hi. How are you? Good? Good. I'm glad. We are powers combined creating the Sequel Men, talking about film franchises. Find us, follow us on the social medias, the Facebook, Instagram. I've been posting every movie so far with my picture of the book and my grandma's message in there.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Thanks for doing that.
It's been neat. You guys can get a little... I posted a picture of you in your robe. But find us there. Listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. Spotify, robe. Apple Podcasts, Google, whatever. Pandora, Podbean. If you want to go straight to the source, give us a like. Give us a review. 5 stars. You don't even have to write anything. Just give us some sort of review. But we are very close. We are in part 1 of part 2.
Can you believe it?
Deathly Hallows.
I was just thinking about that earlier today. Just thinking
Harry
about
Potter franchise.
We've come through all the 6 movies so far, and I haven't really stopped to think about like the progression from each movie, because we talked about them obviously.
Yep.
Over the past several weeks, but
several
it's come
months
a long.
At this point.
It's come a long way, and I kind of felt a little bit of that when watching this, like just with like the snitch.
Oh yeah,
and
coming full
just
circle.
Some of the callbacks and coming full circle, the Deluminator, and we go from being an 11-year-old innocent child, oh, happy times at Hogwarts, and then we're on the road, we're literally running away from these evil Death Eater
doers,
so-called Death Eaters, and things are getting real. This one is
they
where
are real. And I just watched it today, so it's
Me
all
too.
fresh
I
in my
watched
mind.
it this morning.
I think that's been my thing lately, because at work I have a little bit more time. So, I'm not sitting there just while I'm working, but I finished it up. And, I liked this part 1 better than I remember, but it is still just a lot of walking. talking and camping, just like I said.
Well, I can't wait for you to watch Lord of the Rings again. I can't wait to hear you criticize it for that.
That might be season 4 opener, because I don't know if I'll have it in me after Harry Potter, and then we got big stuff coming. But
big plans.
It's, I'll be honest, like I'm glad that we're doing it. I'm not getting sick of it yet, but I'm kind of excited to be done and moving on to the next one.
We got 3 more, 2 more after this one.
Well,
we'll get through this one. We'll do the next one.
One more, but
which
then
we can't wait.
Up. That's right, Christian. But we will, on our wrap up, Brandon Pop from the Going Off Topic podcast. You've heard him on this show before. He'll be with us for that big time Harry Potter.
We may or may not also have Ben.
Okay.
We might have a roundtable discussion.
And I gotta tell you, we've reached a milestone. This is the first movie since
that you remember
the first one that I remember where I was and when I watched. It was after Harry Potter week at camp. I wanted to get back into it, so I was like, you know what? There were bigger fans than some of the other counselors, and we were staying there for the weekend. You know, we have weekends off. Usually we'd go home, but this weekend we happened to be staying on camp, and you could do that. You know, you just stay in the cabin for the weekend, so you don't have to come back. And I was like, I hadn't seen the last ones. Fill me in. And they were like, well, we don't want to spoil. And I'm like, I'm not gonna read them. Turns out, you know, I ended up going back. But so they're like, one of them, I said that they had this one. They had the DVD, because at the time that I watched this, part 2 was not out yet. It wasn't. I don't know if it was in theaters or if it was after theaters and waiting. Hold on. Let me tell you. I want to be accurate with this story because it's the only one I can remember except for
you can't remember. You're looking up.
No. Okay, 2011. When did part 2 come out? Like what month?
June.
When was it released?
I'm pretty sure it was June.
July 15th. So it. Okay.
Hold on, guys. I remember.
I'm pretty sure it was either before this was in theaters. You need to remember all. Or it was after it had been in theaters, and I was just waiting for it to be out so I could watch it. And so I was kind of left, you know. So
hanging out to dry.
We were in the like the big conference lobby area. Somebody had their laptop. They were all excited because I was the only one that hadn't seen it. Big group of us. We were tired from the week, but I was like, let's do it. And we set it up on the laptop, hovered around it, and we watched it. And I watched it on a little laptop at Camp Manitoulin. And I honestly don't remember. I'm pretty sure, because it was like a really exhausting week, I'm pretty sure I did fall asleep because I was very tired and had to finish it later. But I did finish it, and it wasn't because I didn't like it. It was I was tired. I think I dozed off in the middle of it, but we all did. Like, we were exhausted. Being a camp counselor was exhausting. But yeah, that's where I watched it. That's where I watched it, and I don't remember where I watched part 2. It may have been in college, in my dorm room. Illegal. Or a DVD. May have been a DVD.
Well, ponder on that, because we got a whole week till we do part 2. So keep brainstorming and come back and say, I remember, and then spend 15 minutes trying to remember.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was a cool experience, even though I think I fell asleep because of who I watched it with.
Were they boring?
It added to it. But then I do remember at first being like, this.
There's a kitty.
Oh, wow. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. This truly is a setup movie that just kind of drags on at some points.
It doesn't. Well, I think the pacing is okay.
It's just the content in which is in it.
I guess I can understand how some people. I know that was a Looney Tune right there, wasn't it?
Sure was.
I can understand how someone can think that way.
You know what this reminds... All right.
But it makes you feel as restless as they do in the movie, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, let's get on with it. Okay, you're Ron.
This is what it reminded me of. It reminded me after watching this, because I couldn't immediately watch the conclusion. It was it reminded me of when I watched Star Wars Episode 3 in theaters, and then I was in Star Wars mood, so I was hyped, and then the next day I watched, thinking that it would quench my thirst for Star Wars, I watched Episode 4 because it was the next in line, and just remember being really like, oh, I'd rather just... I can't wait for Episode 3 to be out so I can watch that again.
Yeah.
Because this is just a really underwhelming follow-up.
Or as you say,
action-wise.
It's a little boring.
Yeah. But same kind of feeling. I watched this, I'm like, let's get to it. Like, I want it. But I had to wait.
It's like reading half of the book, closing it,
that's
and
what it
picking
is.
it up a year later.
It is. It's semi-annoying. But I get it. They wanted to do this so they could
fit all the...
make more money. Oh, I mean, to fit the story elements in it. And then they still kind of botched the very end.
They absolutely did. And we'll talk
whatever.
about that later, but I know I've talked about it anyway, so...
Yeah.
This one, though, I don't remember
What don't
where
you
I
remember?
watched it.
Oh.
I don't remember where I saw it or when I saw it. I just remember that I saw it on the big screen, but I don't remember the circumstances. I do for the second part, which we'll talk about later, but this one, I don't remember.
This is the first one you don't remember.
I think it is. Other than 6 in this one, I don't remember.
Gotcha.
But yes, I do really enjoy this movie. I think it works. And it's interesting seeing a Harry Potter movie that isn't at Hogwarts the entire running time. No, nothing is at Hogwarts. Nothing. Hogwarts is gone in this.
The closest to Hogwarts is we get
is the Hogwarts
a
Express
scene on the train.
And that's it. And that's the only time we see Neville and the other students.
I keep thinking
he loses.
This is the one where he's hot. And
why do you
still is not.
He ain't hot in any of them.
In the last one, he
gets handsomer, but he ain't the model-looking guy who you look up on Google.
I guess that happened after the movies. But he's much better looking in this
for
one.
Switch Sports.
This, by default, is the one that he is attractive in. It starts to be attractive. What are you doing? The cat.
I'm not doing nothing.
No, the cat. I'm concerned that she's going to jump and unplug something. Yeah, we love her. She hasn't been in here with us in a while.
No.
That table's been in the way, and I moved the table.
David Yates is directing it again. He's been directing all these movies since The Order of the Phoenix. This is one of his best ones, I think, so far.
Last
one was very good. I like Half-Blood Prince. I like this one.
Yeah, this one's
I don't
shot
really like
very
Order
well.
of the Phoenix. I think that's a fan favorite, but it's not one of my fan favorites.
I don't know if it is a fan favorite. People like it.
I've read that it was.
Favorite. Oh, well, maybe.
I do like Fantastic Beasts, the first one.
I am a sucker for handheld, and this has some handheld shots.
It's good. It's well motivated
like
in this movie. Yes.
It's shot like a movie. They're not
not
kids
pointless
anymore.
handheld.
It's, they're borderline adults.
It's a road movie. So it's gritty. It's rough.
It is. And
it's not a Bourne movie where the shaky cam is turned on through the whole movie.
I misremember what happens in this one in part 2 because I kept waiting. I'm like, dude, there's only like a half hour left. When do they get the dragon and break out of Gringotts? That didn't happen. I'm like, when do they sit down and have the talk with that didn't happen? Luckily, because I was like, all right, I'm ready for this one to be over. And I didn't want to have to, I was like, all this stuff I still have to watch. But nope, in the next one. We get it kind of over with in the beginning of the next one.
I would like to watch a mega cut of the two put together.
I wouldn't mind.
That would be the length of the extended edition of Return of the King. And if people can sit through Return of the King,
they can sit through.
They can sit through a mash cut of Deathly Hallows 1 and 2 put together.
But
I might even do that in Editor in Premiere. I might smash the two together.
Do it. It'll be pretty easy to do because they start kind of
just
exactly
cut the credits
how they.
out.
Yeah.
And Voldemort holding the hand up in the air.
I do like it better than I remember, like I said.
It's very well made.
It gets me. There's a moment in the end that
raw emotion
every time. It gets me. There's a line that gets me. It does get. It gets it.
There's some missteps.
First time watching it,
80%,
I missed a lot of stuff because I just didn't know. I was basing it on the movies that I'd previously seen, so 1 through 5, and the books that I had read when I was a very little kid. So I basically had no prior. I couldn't remember much. So this one, I forgot that it covers Grindelwald so heavily.
Little bit.
Like he's a character in it. Kinda, but it covers it a little bit. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
That was kind of neat to see.
And people are like,
him.
who's Grindelwald? Oh, that's the guy Dumbledore defeated, if you remember Philosopher's Stone. He defeated the Dark Wizard Grindelwald in 1945.
Is he mentioned in the first one?
Grindelwald is. From the Chocolate Frog card, the Dumbledore one.
Oh, yeah.
Best known for defeating the Dark Wizard Grindelwald.
Again, I didn't remember that either, but...
I don't think Grindelwald was a Dark Lord, though.
No, he was just evil, wasn't he?
Well, he was a political...
He was a bad guy.
Extremist.
Yeah.
He almost has the same philosophy as Voldemort, where we're superior to the Muggles.
Yeah.
So therefore we should rule over them.
Yes.
And we can't be attracted to them, or as they say, as Voldemort says, oh, she would want us to mate with them.
Yeah, can't fuck them.
Charity Burbage.
Yeah, that part, we'll get to it, but do you just want to get to it?
Oh, I got something for you.
Yeah, oh yeah?
Whoever does the best in this podcast will win a big-ass bottle of Felix Delicious.
What is that really?
It's Felix Felicis.
So it's a liquid luck.
It's way bigger than the one Slughorn gave in the last
pineapple?
movie.
Or is it like a scented camera?
This
camera? Candle.
A scented camera?
I'm tired.
It's like...
Let me see this.
It's like yellow cotton ball mixed with the liquid. We made it in one of those Harry Potter...
Smell?
Don't open it.
Oh.
Yeah, don't open it.
What happens if you open it?
I don't think you can.
Oh, so it's not... It doesn't like smell or anything?
No.
Oh, it's just for
decorative.
Looks. Oh, I got you. I thought it was like a candle.
We made these... Oops. Hello.
Ah!
We made these at one of those Harry Potter Fantastic Feasts that I told you about, that my sister's friend would put on, where they had the Dear Reader in the background.
Dude, that sounds...
We made our own wands, too.
That sounds
Painted
super
them.
fun.
It was very fun.
We should do that. We should do that again. Maybe.
Do what again?
Do that. Put one of those on.
We should have one?
Have your sisters put one of those on.
Yeah, I want to do it. I also want to do a Lord of the Rings themed feast.
If we can find a recipe for butterbeer,
let's make it, and then we can have it on the finale, on the wrap up.
Let's look. I'm gonna look up a recipe real quick.
There is recipes. I remember looking up recipes back when we lived at my old childhood home on our little laptop. I just never made it because I wasn't old enough to go to the store and get everything myself. I would have to have somebody go and get it.
Okay, this won't even let me type.
It's a virus, bro.
It won't let me touch anything
Your
on the bottom.
Your laptop caught COVID.
It won't let me open anything.
It caught COVID.
You want to go to Act 1?
It sounds like you are very eager, so let's do it.
I want to get into it. All right.
To those of you who do not know, we are joined tonight by Miss Charity Burbage, who until recently taught at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Her speciality was Muggle studies. It is Miss Burbage's belief that Muggles are not so different from us. She would, given her way, have us mate with them. To her, the mixture of magical and muggle blood is not an abomination, but something to be encouraged.
Severus, please. We're friends.
Nagini. Dinner.
Act 1. We are finally under the leadership of a competent minister of magic, Mr. Scrimgeour, or Minister Scrimgeour, and he gives a harrowing address to the media about the war to come. Sad days are ahead as the crew preps for war and the road. The Dursleys pack up and leave for safety, but not before sharing an actual, thoughtful moment with Harry. Oh, wait, never mind. That scene was deleted. I'll show you later. Hermione wipes her parents' memories of anything involving her, and I hope this is temporary. Ron stands tall outside the burrow. At the Death Eater's base, Voldemort rallies his troops while a Hogwarts professor hovers over the table, Charity Burbage. Snape arrives and gives the intel to the group on when Harry will be moved. Voldemort needs a new wand because his is the twin of Harry's and it is ineffective against him. He takes a reluctant and nervous Lucius Malfoy's wand instead. He kills the professor, and then that's Nagini's dinner. Harry wanders around, reminiscing at the Dursleys' now empty house, like that last episode of Fresh Prince or Friends. Although it's been rough, it still has been his home for 17 years. He stops by the cupboard and says his final goodbyes. Hagrid and Ron enter, followed by the rest of the Order of the Phoenix under the leadership of the hardened and no-nonsense Mad-Eye Moody. The plan is for the group to take Polyjuice Potion to become Harry and lead him to safety, and try to confuse the Death Eaters. Harry rides with Hagrid, and a badass chase scene ensues because the Death Eaters were tipped off and they were ready for them. In an effort to protect Harry, this is the first moment that I almost cried. Hedwig is killed, and it's super freaking sad. Hagrid gets knocked out somehow. I honestly don't remember how. And Harry takes the wheel of the motorbike. Voldemort flies in, and Harry's wand automatically protects him. At the burrow, we land, and everyone is on edge. George, I think it's George, is hurt, and we learn that Mad Eye is dead. Would have been nice to see him go down fighting instead of just told, but whatever. It's wedding prep, even in the midst of the chaos. Minister Scrimgeour comes to talk to the trio and read Dumbledore's will and testament. Ron got his Deluminator. Hermione, his copy of Beetle the Bard. Harry got the first snitch he caught and some other cryptic messages. They all got like some sort of message. These are tools. It's not just for fun. He also got the Sword of Gryffindor, but they don't know where it is, and it wasn't his to give. It's a nice day for a Weasley wedding. Bill and Fleur tie the knot. Harry talks to Doge and a lady, and I know it's a lady that I should remember her name and her relation, but I can't. They talk about Dumbledore's life and his brother, and that Harry never knew existed. Doge has more shirt collars than a college fraternity on pledge night. He questions whether he really even knew Dumbledore at all, Harry. A message comes in that the minister has fallen, and then the wedding party is attacked by Death Eaters. Hermione apparates the trio to a coffee house, and they get attacked by undercover Death Eaters, but they stun them and wipe their memories, and the fight is on.
I didn't notice a shirt collar.
So many of them. When you go back and
shirt
watch,
collars in the frats.
So I want to talk about him for a minute.
Yeah.
He wrote, an article about Dumbledore.
A memorial.
A memorial,
in the Prophet, yes.
And we find out Rita Skeeter wrote a book about Dumbledore and like all the lies, A Life of Lies.
The Life and Lies of Albus Dumbledore by Rita Skeeter, and she interviewed Bathilda Bagshot,
who was Dumbledore's longtime friend.
Longtime friend, and also the writer of the History of Magic textbook.
And friend of the whole Dumbledore family, right?
Yes.
So we learn he has a brother.
Being from Godric's Hollow.
And his dad killed some muggles, so they were like on the run, or they had to move town.
Yeah, his dad killed 3 muggles, was sent to Azkaban.
Not a great guy.
No, not a great guy.
Not fantastic. Okay, so that's all close.
Nor a beast.
What's her name?
Bathilda Bagshot.
Bathilda Bagshot.
Bathilda Bagshot.
And remember her.
Goodness, boy, I'm beginning to wonder if you even knew him at all.
Well, perhaps so am I.
Professor McGonagall, is that you? I like how her McGonagall voice, listening back to it, I like how her McGonagall voice is Julia Child cosplaying as Professor.
And today we're going to be cooking
the cauldron.
Transfiguration stew.
I've gone and cut my finger.
There's a show. There's a Julia Child show.
Yeah, on HBO.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
I think they've kind of dried that well clean with the Julia Child stuff.
What is the lady's name? Is that one of Ron's aunts?
I don't remember her name. It's some old lady. There you go.
It's one of his aunts.
That's her name in the credits, too.
Is it?
Some old lady.
No.
One wailing woman.
In the book, in the book, it's like Ron's aunt that's like borderline racist or something.
I don't remember, but I do remember in the book, the first chapter, it's like, ooh, Snape. Snape goes to Malfoy Manor. We're getting into it. We're starting off in the dark.
Malfoy Manor.
What else in the book? Oh, yeah. They go into way more detail in the book about why Harry has to leave.
Yeah.
Like, there's an actual reason why he can't stay at the Dursleys, because the protections that Dumbledore cast over them
wear off when he's
on
17.
his birthday. Yeah. So he can't stay there. That's why he has to leave. Not because of the trace or anything. He literally can't stay there, and that's why the Dursleys leave, because they won't be safe there as long as he's there.
It's Auntie Muriel Weasley.
Okay.
So it is his aunt.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So just to clear that up.
But
yeah,
I like that extra stuff from the book. That it's not necessary for the movie. It just gives more context.
You can sit with more in the book.
Yes.
In this, like, they talk for a long time. We get a lot of info. If they did that, that would be like a 20-minute scene where they're just sitting at a table talking.
That was the whole thing in Half-Blood Prince. That was what we were talking about a little bit. That's what Dumbledore was talking to them and explaining to them. Like, next year, the protections will wear off, and we got to do this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah.
I want to play this for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the deleted scene.
Oh, yeah.
And why...
I tried to watch it. Why isn't it on HBO Max?
Why the fuck was
it
this
cut? I know in the book, too... Ooh, here you go. Is that an ad?
That's an ad.
Okay. He puts a teacup outside of Harry's door. Dudley.
He does? When does he do that?
Because he's doing it as a nice gesture. Because he saved his life with the Patronus.
I think this is it.
He's fast forwarding. Yeah, because he turns around and has a word with them.
I have lived in this house for 20 years. And now in a single night I'm expected to leave.
They'll torture you.
He's talking to his aunt.
You know where I'm going, they'll stop at nothing.
His aunt and Petunia and he are having a moment.
Do you think I don't know what they're capable of? You didn't just lose a mother that night in Godric's Hollow, you know. I lost a sister.
See, why the hell would they cut this? It's 3 extra minutes. Less than that. Like, give him a human moment.
Is that it?
No.
This isn't just goodbye, boy, is it? This is farewell.
I don't understand. Isn't he coming with us?
Who?
Harry.
Absolutely not.
Why?
Why? Well, because he doesn't want to, do you, boy?
Absolutely not. No. Besides, I'm just a waste of space, isn't that right, Vernon?
Come on, Dudley, we're off.
didn't confirm it. He did not answer him, which I like. All right, so now Dudley is walking from the car. He's taking one more moment. He's going up to Harry. He's looking at his dad as an F you. I'm going to go talk to him one more time. Like, this is all super, like, emotional. Like, just show this. Extends his hand to handshake. They shake hands. Like, come on.
I don't think you're a waste of space.
Like, what are we doing here?
Wow. Thanks.
Like the
thanks.
first human moment. And then here's my favorite part. I think. Does he say it? Maybe it's just in the book. Wait.
I hear a plane.
See you, Big D.
There. See you, Big D. Like,
okay,
why not put that in there, dude?
I'm completely on board with you on that. That is...
Like, we needed
that would have been a perfect ending to the whole Dursley saga of his relationship with the Dursleys.
Yeah, like,
and it would have ended it on a somewhat reconciled note, but yet still, there's still some tension there, but still, like, you didn't lose... Especially the scene with Petunia.
Right, at
like,
least
that is your
have
aunt.
that.
That's your literal aunt. If I was just thinking that if you're gonna have anything, have that. But
like, that's a big. It humanizes them. Is that so wrong to just humanize these people for 1-2 minutes?
That was a misfire.
And yeah, Dudley. It took him a while. Like, it was drawn out. Him walking up to Harry. Okay, so cut that a little bit. They shake hands. He says, "I don't think you're a waste of space." He says, "Thanks."
You know why it's such a problem? You know why they cut it out? It's because it messed up the montage of the opening of
Then
showing the three of
montage.
them with Hermione first, Harry watching the Dursleys leave with the musical overture, and then Ron being called by his mother. And it's like, here's the three of them each doing their own thing. If they had... I understand why they did it, but I think I totally agree with you. That should have been kept
cut
in.
Back to it.
I agreed. Instead
montage, show them packing up, but then at the very end of the montage, you go back in the house one more time. Music cuts. It's the
and then we
Petunia
cut to,
and Harry,
yes.
And then cut to him outside. Why isn't he going with us? He doesn't want to. Absolutely not. I'm just a waste of space anyway, aren't I? Well, let's go. Dudley comes up, shakes his hand. "I don't think you're a waste of space." To which Harry says, "Then why the hell have you been treating me so poorly for 17 years? And he says, "I don't know. It was my parents' fault. Kill them." And then he does.
Wow. Okay, we didn't go that far, but no,
in the book,
he could have said, "See ya, Big D," and then cut to the do as the logos come in.
Yes,
with going to Snape.
Thank you, but no, I do. In the book, it mentions that
I would probably do that differently, but
Harry, years later, Dudley has a family, and they exchange Christmas cards every year, so like they stay in touch.
That's
but of course
awesome.
you can't show that in the movie.
That's awesome.
And then him going through the house, like, I've moved out of a house before, and it wasn't like a great house. It was a rental house. We had just bought a house, so I was happy, but it was also like, this has been our home. Our first home as a married couple. And, I did the walk around where I'm just like, I remember this, I remember that. And it is that moment where even if it was a miserable experience, the cupboard is where it was like his safe space for so many years. It was where it all started. He still had his toys in there. He's walking around.
I remember
this
that
is where I
shot
was
from
safe.
the first movie.
This was my home.
Where he's playing with the little thing, and then he was like, that's a nostalgic trip right there.
And I think it reminded him, it took him back to when times were simpler. Yeah, he was bullied, but there wasn't a Dark Lord to be worried about. There wasn't war.
People trying to kill me, my Sirius Black, and all this drama. That's the one I think I mentioned in other episodes. I really love how the books and the content mature as you move forward. Like you start off as a naive 11-year-old, not knowing anything about magic, and you're learning about spells and how magic, the wizarding world works, and then we get into all this politics of the wizarding world and prejudices against non-magic folk, and it gets more adult as it goes on, and then we find ourselves in this really dark space with people who are literally kidnapping people out of their homes. Not like secret police. People are going missing. People are being killed. People are being facing an inquisitorial squad. It's a reference to Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like later in one of the later acts with someone who we won't talk about just yet, but we don't like her one bit.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I really like how those. I thought about that like a few years ago. Just how I love how these books, like, because it mirrors reality. As you get older, you start to learn more about family dynamics and more adult subject matter. You're not in kidland anymore.
You grow with the books.
Yes.
And
unfortunately, there's some things in the movie that were changed that I think could have been kept, but.
Yeah, cut out that should have been kept. Like, every time I watch that deleted scene, I don't get it.
I'm sure there's an explanation somewhere.
Well, it's not a good one. But like I said, at the very, very, very least, have the Petunia moment.
Exactly. I
and
completely
then you can go
agree.
back, they're leaving.
It could have been edited differently. It's all it is a different edit.
But whatever. Voldemort with his people. This is an eerie scene because the whole time they're talking, that professor's just floating.
Yeah.
In the background, just waiting to die. Then when she's about to die, Severus, please, we're friends. And he can't blow his cover. No. You can see it in his face. It's hard for him. Like, he's like,
this is, you know what? His whole life has been difficult.
Just a shithole.
We know later on in the second part, the details of that.
And some of how he acts sometimes isn't really justified. No. Like, he is a douche, but...
Yes. Because he sees his father and Harry, and Harry's father was a jerk.
It's hard. But, so the whole thing, Voldemort needs a new wand.
They did that scene perfectly.
The scene at the table?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just this tense. Is he going to kill somebody? There's a body floating.
Didn't I tell you to keep our guest quiet?
Yeah, Wormtail is there.
That's the voice he should have kept.
Yeah.
It's too deep.
Worth noting, Pious Thickness, one of the best names. He's there, and he's like in the ministry, or he's a politician.
Dude, he's a politician, and I love how they frame him, because he's so like boxed in, like imprisoned. Like, the way they shoot him makes him look like he's imprisoned.
Yeah, he's trapped.
And he's like stuck. And the way they shoot the angle with the snake. Like showing the threat that, you better not say something wrong or else Nagini's going to get you. Like,
yeah, if I don't, she will.
So great.
I love the, just in the last two movies even, the downfall of the Malfoys. Like, here they are, like, high and mighty throughout most of the series, thinking they're better, and then Lucius is in a rough place. Like, he's been through it. Draco doesn't want to be... They don't want to be a part of this anymore. They realized, hey, this was cool at first, but we want out of this. This is... I mean, you can see he hasn't shaved and the bag's under his eyes.
Later on in the movie, he has a glass of wine. Like, he's drinking away.
Yeah.
Like,
he has to get rid of his wand.
I think something symbolized in her hair. There's shades of light and dark in Narcissa Malfoy's hair. That kind of... I think it's like that in the book too. That's
the struggle.
Yeah, it's like light and dark. They're on the line here. They care, like they actually care about their son more than they care about serving Voldemort.
Right. Well, and that's what it is. They're at this point they're keeping him safe. Mm-hmm. It's not that they're that loyal to, here like Lucius's lines are just like nothing. He's because he's scared to do anything. He doesn't want to die. He doesn't want his son to die. He doesn't want his wife to die.
And I like his.
What? Take it. But yeah, he takes his wand and breaks the snake off and just tosses it.
Do I detect?
Yes, my lord. I don't remember.
I always And he's just the Lucius Malfoy way he dictates things. Dragon heartstring, my lord. Dragon heartstring.
Dragon. Oh fuck! Here it is.
And
I'm just waiting for that.
And the core. There's so much stuff in the body language, like Voldemort's disgusted
shaking
by him, like and his like snaps the thing off and throws it on the table. Like your opulence is exaggerated.
You know
yeah,
I need this, but I don't need the fancy. That's you.
The snake head
just
thing.
To rub it in your face. I'm gonna kind of break your wand. I don't need the extra. Dude, Voldemort's wand, the white one, the bone one, super sick.
I always thought that one looked cool. When I looked at like the Noble Collection pamphlets that came with the movie, it's like Voldemort's wand.
It's weird cool. That it's a twin to Harry's because
they have the same feather.
It's completely different. It's a bone. Like I think he customized his.
Well, in the book, it's made out of yew, which is a tree. L-Y-E-W. It's like a tree that symbolizes death.
Ah, yeah.
So I like how that symbolizes.
Cool.
And Harry's is made out of holly.
That claw.
Yeah, for the finger, like the.
Yeah, it's.
You know how he holds like.
He holds his wand in between his.
Like this, like.
Well, doesn't he holds it? Yeah, like.
He holds it like Nicole Kidman was clapping at the Oscars that one year, like the Grinch.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are you clapping like that, Nicole? Well, I didn't want to hurt the rings. They were rentals.
Oh. But yeah, very eerie scene. Back to... okay, so everybody... Not everybody.
Bellatrix still annoys the shit out of me.
I want to do it. I want to kill him.
Just the...
Listen, I appreciate
the way she laughs, the way she screams a lot. It's grating.
She's great, though. I mean, you can be annoyed with her, but
she would have us want to mate with him. Like, really? Really?
Yeah, that's a little over the top, but she's trying, like she's intentionally trying too hard because she wants to be his right-hand person. Like she wants
She's
to be
like the Harley Quinn to his Joker.
I was just
Yes, that's
where he doesn't give a shit about her. He doesn't care about anybody except himself. He even shoves her down
in the next one. I don't need your help.
He truly does not care about anybody except himself. He's using these people to get what he
wants.
So essentially, DT. But
he's a figure born out of false love, so therefore he can't love anybody. Or
that's right.
His humanity has been ripped to shreds, literally, because of the Horcruxes.
Yeah,
so
7 times.
He isn't a human. He's a monster.
He's dying. But let's go to Harry and the crew. Half of the people.
Neville
so who's
here.
all there?
Neville wasn't at the wedding.
Well, he's at school. No, he wasn't there. So it's Hagrid, Ron, Hermione.
Mundungus Fletcher.
Mundungus Fletcher.
At your service.
The pissant. Harry, obviously. Kingsley Shacklebolt. Mad-Eye Moody. Lupin. Tonks.
I like
Fred
Kingsley
and George,
in this movie.
Bill, and Fleur. Fleur Delacroix. And half of them take the Polyjuice. Sweet. It's an awesome shot when it's showing each of them change.
Don't look at me, Bill.
The camera's going around in circles.
Hideous.
It goes behind Harry, and then when it gets back to the crew, they're all him. Like they'd all fully changed. And I thought Daniel Radcliffe did a great job acting as
all
each
the rest
of them.
That is a fun sequence.
Yeah.
It's a fun sequence.
But the goal is to throw off the Death Eaters by making multiple of them. But they were tipped off by somebody. Was it Mundungus Fletcher that tipped them off, or do we find out later who it was?
Snape.
But he wasn't
They
sure.
will leave Saturday next at nightfall. Well, my intel says something else. They'll be leaving on the night of the 30th on the boy's 17th birthday.
He went super deep.
Which in the book they do leave on his birthday because that's when the protections wear off.
Right.
I think Snape was trying to throw them off.
I think
give
it
them
didn't
a false lead.
Because if he gave him too obvious of a fault, then he'd be found out by one side. But yeah, they all pair up and immediately Death Eaters, hundreds.
Dude,
thousands
that
of them.
Death Eaters. Thousands of battle Death Eaters.
But they're flying. Cool chase scene, and you're just like, okay,
dude.
Well, yeah, they're just picking people off. Would have liked to have seen Mad Eye
when they're flying through the clouds and they see like just all those hundreds of Death Eaters spiraling around, I was like, this is awesome. I'm engaged.
I'm in
that whole scene, the musical score, which these two movies, these last two, are done by Alexander Desplat, who did Godzilla, 2014. Fantastic work on this movie. It's probably the closest to a John Williams score that isn't John Williams for these movies in particular. Like especially the Sky Battle. It's called Sky Battle on the soundtrack. It sounds very John Williams in certain parts, and I love it. And the way it's shot is so good, and it's truer to the book. It's pretty true to the book. The way it's shot and just the scenario, and it's exciting to watch.
Yes,
it's engaging.
Yeah,
especially when they go through the tunnel. And
how does Hagrid get knocked out? He
gets hit with Stupefy, but he's so big.
All right, so then Harry has to like crawl on his
maybe
lap.
Maybe he was hit with a killing curse.
No, it would have.
He's so big it doesn't.
That
affect
wouldn't have
him
mattered.
that
The
way.
killing curse kills.
There's something they say in the book about it.
I know, and I can't.
But I can't remember.
I don't either. But just the gut wrenching, heart ripping. You see Hedwig, and she's like, you think, oh, she's saving him, and she does a little bit, but then she gets hit, and then her lifeless body falls.
Like, no. Like that got me the way he yelled
gotcha.
after her.
Gotcha. In the book, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they find him out because he uses Expelliarmus, and they're like, okay, well.
Oh yeah, is that?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it was Hedwig in the book, but yeah, they find him out, and then Voldemort can fly.
That's a testament to they all can.
Well, they're on broom. Well, in the smoke. But
I think that's not how apparating works. I'm sorry.
No.
In the books.
That's a Death Eater special. Cool visual with the power lines.
Was that the Denny's meal when the movie came out?
Yes.
I'll have the Death Eater special.
Yeah,
black pancakes with green
black syrup.
Whipped cream.
Thanks.
With a dark
smoky
mark written on top of it.
I'll have the racist pancakes, please. Thanks. No, pass. Hard pass. But it's a really cool visual with the power lines collapsing and like the lightning and Voldemort in between them, because this is Muggle land. We've never seen, we rarely see wizards this take place in Muggle land. So to see him in between something like electricity failing or falling, like being destroyed around him, it just added a cool little element.
Kind of a visual metaphor for him losing power in sort of a sense.
Oh yeah.
Or control, because I thought this would work, and it didn't. This is a Lucius's wand, and it didn't work. It actually It actually destroyed it, didn't it?
Destroyed what?
Lucius's wand.
Yeah, it cracked it. Cool visual there too, where it like slowly, like you see it cracking.
That's not how it happens. There's a totally different reason for that in the book.
But in the book, that Harry's wand shoots out a gold beam. Automatically,
which I don't remember why.
Because because he's you know what. So they're connected in more ways than just their wand. It's not the wand.
Okay.
I think. We find that out, I think, a little later. But they're at the Burrow. Lupin's all on edge. He's just an alcoholic at this point, it looks like.
Did you put your name in the brook?
What was the first animal? And if I was here, I was like, I was not paying attention. Ask me something different. Ask me something different.
Azkaban,
huh?
In the movie,
is
that a noticeable thing in the movie when he goes into Lupin's office? Is there a Grindylow in the corner?
I don't know. But
I'd like
that
to
would be
check back.
Like I wouldn't remember that. I don't know.
I didn't remember it either.
But it's that security question. You're like, what's your oldest niece's first name? if you log into a computer.
It makes sense why they would be doing that, though.
Yeah, but he just goes crazy, and I get it, and then he calms down. Then Shacklebolt they all start coming in. Is it George or Fred that gets the ear?
I don't remember. I think it's George. I think it's Fred.
Is it?
I think it's Fred.
Whoever says
I'm saint-like.
Morning. I forgot to mention in the summary, Ginny and Harry make out real quick.
That's
after
not
he zips
important.
up his... No, it's not. Like, wedding prep. Okay, sure.
I do like...
You guys are more important than what's going on. Yeah,
I do like that little exchange between Ginny and... Well, it reminded me... Yeah, because what he said to her is like a very... Like, it was a real thing to say. Like, well, maybe it's kind of hard... No. It's kind of hard... It's very weird doing something like a wedding, having something... It's a bit silly, isn't it? Having something like a wedding with everything that's going on. And he's like, well, maybe that's precisely why we should do it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's a very thing, like something someone's significant other would say to kind of comfort them. And I liked that moment.
Yeah, the moment was fine. It was just weird, and then...
It reminded me a little also about COVID. Like, if during the past 2 years, like, we're going through something extraordinary and dire and dour, and a little moment of brevity will do everybody a little good. That's the kind of thing that's what's going on.
For a while.
Arthur's not nursing a boner with a pillow in this movie.
Instead, he's nursing... what is Fred or George, whatever... What does he put in his ear? Why does he have that toothbrush in his ear?
Because he's being funny.
That's so weird. Saint-like. I'm holy.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm like...
Awful joke.
Yeah, not your best. Not your best.
They must have blew your humor out of your head, too.
That's what he should... They should have... Hey, would your humor get blown out of your ear? Ah? Yeah, that's
get blown out of there. I still got the other one
for now, but it is wedding. I mean, I covered each kid of the trio gets something from Dumbledore that is very important. It's an instruction more than a possession. Mm-hmm. What was that? What was that?
I need to temper myself. I'm not trying to interject every 5 seconds.
Sure.
I do like the reaction that Scrimgeour has when Harry grabs the snitch and he touches it and he's like, and then you see like Scrimgeour slouches like, oh, I was expecting it to open, because he knows it has flesh memory that we learn later. And he's like, what does it have? There's a secret in there. Oh, damn it. But these are hard times.
You know who that is?
Denying. That was a Davy Jones impression. Do you feel death?
Dude. Look at that.
Jack Sparrow. I haven't seen those movies in a while, so I don't have the Davy Jones down.
I started watching them over the summer, I think. No, at my last job. So years ago. Never finished them.
We'll show you the light.
Well, maybe we'll do those.
A deluminator.
Later.
Dumbledore left this for me. Yeah, that's what the will says.
What's it do? No idea. It puts lights out. And apparently it whispers things to you later on.
And it ejects a little ball of light that goes into your heart.
Yeah. Dumbledore made that.
Yeah, he made it himself.
There's no other thing. He made it himself. Just like this gadget. It is.
So Ron gets to put out her. Hermione gets the Tales of Beedle the Bard, which we find out is more significant later on. Harry gets the snitch and the Sword of Gryffindor. And there's a part where, well, it was never, the sword's lost. And another thing, it was never Dumbledore's to give. It's not just because it shows up to wizards in their time of need doesn't make it their property. And he's like, it belongs and I wanted to do the Indiana Jones in a museum.
I've never seen Indiana Jones.
Belongs in a museum. Instantly thought of that. Fun scene. Fun scene? Not really.
Not fun. Cool. Like the snitch comes back and I'm like, why would is it what is it supposed to open?
What's the importance of the snitch? People who read the book already know.
And then it follows him around all cool throughout the rest of the thing. It kind of replaces Hedwig. I guess. I wish Hedwig... Like, why'd you have to kill Hedwig?
It's not a sentient thing.
Why'd you have to kill Hedwig? Like, why?
Because it's the end.
Okay.
Stakes are high.
You don't need to Game of Thrones
characters
it.
get killed.
You know what? I would have if I had to pick between... that's tough. If I had to pick between Hagrid and Hedwig...
Are you shitting me? I don't think so. I'd
pick neither. If I had to pick... I think I would have rather had Luke... Well, he does.
No.
I would have rather...
Floor.
No. Oh, this is the first time
we wouldn't have the wedding.
This is the first time we're meeting Bill, by the way. I think I would have rather...
Played by Hux.
Yes. I would have rather...
Domhnall Gleeson.
I would have rather have sacrificed...
Mundungus.
Well, yeah, easy.
Nobody would have cared, though. We didn't know him that well.
Who would I have rather
No, Hedwig had to die.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
I hate that she did.
It's another thing that Harry had taken from him because of Voldemort and his evil.
He's already lost everything else.
I know.
Why did he have to lose his one friend over the summer?
And I think we spoke earlier about Dudley. I think it's a testament to Harry's character that he saved Dudley's life, even though he really didn't like Dudley, obviously. And Dudley made those comments about his mom or his family.
Okay, there, Dudley. I would have rather had Dudley die than Hedwig.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Yes.
Well, Dudley shows up on a broom. I'm a wizard too, just kidding.
Look, oh no, I got my thug crew coming. I don't know why he sounds like an old man.
Got my thug crew coming.
It's years later. It's cousin Dudley. That's, I don't know.
Here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
But it's cool.
I like how the wedding unfolds, as quickly as it does or not unfolds, but rather devolves into a scramble for survival. Because
all of a sudden, though, we get that.
Well, yeah, that's how it happens in the book, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like the blue thing shows up. Ministry is taken. The minister is dead. Run! They are coming. They do the Gandalf. They are coming. They are coming.
It's like that song that run. Bam, 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 bam. You know what song I'm talking about?
No.
I'll play it for you. I'll play it.
No,
I can't remember. It's used in a lot of memes. Run song.
It better be worth it.
It is. It will be. It's by Owl Nation. Come on.
Come on, can you skip the ad?
No, I can't.
I can't.
Yeah, I really can't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here it is.
Never heard this.
No, you'll know it. Just give it a minute. Like, usually this is used in memes. Like, little short videos and stuff about, okay, wow. About, like if there's a dog chasing a little kid or something, there'll be come on, do it.
We're waiting too long for the breakdown.
Alright, hang on, it's coming. Oh, we just missed it. Alright, here it comes.
Run.
You could dub that in.
But, like, look, just as an example. Like, here's an example of it. I don't know what this video is.
It's an ostrich. It's not very funny.
Okay, that one's not funny. But anyway, just like this.
They should do it with the skateboarding and skateboard run guy.
That's what it reminded me of. That's Kingsley's voice, right?
Yes.
Is that his Patronus?
Yep. I don't think it's a Patronus.
It is in the book, and it's blue.
It's a Patronus in the book? You can do that with Patronuses? Voice messages?
Yeah. It's a cool feature. You have to upgrade to 5G.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the Patronus XL2. Yeah, it's cool. But everybody, they leave. Lupin's like, get the fuck out of here! Then Harry's like, okay. And then Hermione's like, oh, yeah. And she apparates them to the coffee place.
I love how hectic that is, though. Because that's how it would happen in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. People are getting hit with curses.
Hermione has
and
this
next thing you know, we're in
unlimited space bag.
Yeah.
That she just shows how important she is. Like, this bag has literally everything and a tent. So they change into their...
She thought of all the essentials.
Yeah. Oh, hey, remember in the last movie? I was listening to it today. Our episode. And I'm like... Why is Hermione... Oh, wait, have we ever seen... Is she ever home? We do get to see Hermione's house this time. For 20 seconds while she obliviates her parents.
I hope
and then
that's
leaves.
temporary, too, because I don't think that was necessary.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It's for their protection, because if they knew about her, whatever, then they... Run. They could get information from them.
That's true, I guess.
And they're just dentists. Oh, well, dude. Go fix teeth. You don't need a daughter.
Now, by erasing their memory, does that also erase anything that ties her to them?
I think so. That's
in
why
the minds of others.
Yeah. But that's the last thing. Is Hermione apparates them. They get attacked by these undercover. One of them.
Love that
what's
scene
his
too.
name?
Dolohov.
Yeah, that guy. Who had a much bigger presence.
Dumb-looking face.
Yeah.
When he's laying on the ground.
But they wipe that, and then it's on to.
I kept thinking Ron was going to stomp his nose in.
Me too. I was waiting for it.
But that was from the last one.
Yeah.
When
it wasn't
Malfoy. Oh, we also met Xenophilius Lovegood and Luna,
their stupid
her
dumb
father.
dance. Yep, Luna Lovegood's dad. And he has... They make a point to show his necklace.
Oh, yeah.
It's that triangle with the line and the circle symbol.
Huh. You know, the one that thousands of people got tattooed on their bodies after the movie and book came out? Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That and the Death
sniffling.
Eaters. Yeah, get over it. Don't do that, JK.
Rowling.
Yeah. Run.
That waitress was super rude.
Yeah, it's toward the end of her shift.
Did you remember that scene when Harry was going to leave before the wedding and Ron stops him in the middle of the night and Ron's like asking him all these questions? It reminds me of that kid from Home Alone. What's a Horcrux? Where are we finding them?
Does this have a Horcrux? Drive? No, but Ron...
Do you know where the Horcruxes are, Harry?
Ron gets...
Where are they? How do we find them?
Intelligent.
Where are they? Yeah.
Like, he's not dumb in this one.
I know.
Like, Harry,
well, he's actually useful.
You think this is about you. Like, it's not about you, dog. It's
This is not just... This is a... Yeah. I don't
Think
need to
outside
repeat what you
yourself
just
for
said.
one time, Harry. Come on.
I think that was meant to be a comedic bit, him asking all those questions. Like, dude, it's 3 a.m. I don't know where these Horcruxes are. That's why we have to go look for them.
I'm in danger. Nobody else is dying for you. Oh, you thought we died for you? Oh, you think this is about you? Just because your name's on the book?
Well, that comes in very importantly in the next
It does,
book.
which, let's get to it.
No.
Oh, not yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, sorry. We got a lot to cover.
I know.
Trying to move us along. Go ahead.
I completely understand.
Go ahead.
That's where it ends. The act ends there. There was something else I wanted to point out. But, yes, here's what I was going to say. I agree with you on the Ron thing, because the last one, they make him seem so just goofy and bumbling. This one, he's actually hitting spells. He's hitting people with his spells.
Well, yeah, who does he save?
He saves Floor, I believe.
Is it
No.
Who does he
is
ride
it?
with? Who does he ride with? Where she gives him props. Is it Tonks?
No, who is it?
Tonks would have ridden with Lupin.
Yeah, I bet.
Who does he save? Who does he save? Who does he save?
He saves somebody.
Who?
That's the point.
We need to know.
Who does... Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Who does Ron...
I'm going to try and look up too.
Ride with...
Ron saves...
Battle of the Seven Potters.
Deathly Hallows. Nope, that's not what I want. Anyway, bottom line is, he saves somebody, because he actually has skill in this movie and he landed a spell. And he's been practicing.
It may have been Tonks.
If it wasn't for him, I would have been a goner, something like that. I think it could have been...
It was Tonks, because Lupin came before her.
Right. There we go. Yes.
But
we figured it out. We solved the puzzle.
We did. But I'm still going to look. You keep talking.
Okay.
I'm just going to double check our source.
I did have a little bit of an emotional reaction to the way Arthur reacts to seeing Fred/George on the couch with his ear all fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
When he's... just his facial expression is one of, like... I can't even... How do you describe it?
Well, it's going to really
sadness
suck later.
And, like just despair slightly.
Because that's his second hymn.
Yeah. That's his son.
Oh, it's cool that they ride in on a Thestral.
Are they even concerned about Percy? There's a whole thing about Percy in the books.
It's Tonks.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
I want to hear you say it.
Okay, you were right. I said it, too.
I said Tonks and you're like, no.
Well...
it doesn't really matter. I'm just
kidding.
It does
matter.
It doesn't.
I'm really sorry that I doubted you.
There's something else. What is that happening in this first act? Something had me going there. I can't think of it right now, but I'm good to go if we want to move forward.
All right, let's do it.
There were once 3 brothers who were traveling along a lonely, winding road at twilight. In time, the brothers reached a river too treacherous to pass. But being learned in the magical arts, the 3 brothers simply waved their wands and made a bridge. Before they could cross, however, they found their path blocked by a hooded figure. It was Death, and he felt cheated. Cheated because travelers would normally drown in the river, but Death was cunning. He pretended to congratulate the 3 brothers on their magic and said that each had earned a prize for having been clever enough to evade him. The oldest asked for a wand more powerful than any in existence, so Death fashioned him one from an elder tree that stood nearby. The second brother decided he wanted to humiliate Death even further and asked for the power to recall loved ones from the grave. So Death plucked a stone from the river and offered it to him. Finally, Death turned to the third brother. A humble man, he asked for something that would allow him to go forth from that place without being followed by Death. And so it was that Death reluctantly handed over his own cloak of invisibility. The first brother traveled to a distant village, where with the Elder Wand in hand, he killed a wizard with whom he had once quarreled. Drunk with the power that the Elder Wand had given him, he bragged of his invincibility. But that night, another wizard stole the wand and slit the brother's throat for good measure. And so Death took the first brother for his own. The second brother journeyed to his home, where he took the stone and turned it thrice in hand. To his delight, the girl he had once hoped to marry before her untimely death appeared before him. Yet soon she turned sad and cold, for she did not belong in the mortal world. Driven mad with hopeless longing, the second brother killed himself so as to join her. And so Death took the second brother. As for the third brother, Death searched for many years but was never able to find him. Only when he attained a great age did the youngest brother shed the cloak of invisibility and give it to his son. He then greeted Death as an old friend and went with him gladly, departing this life as equals.
So there you are.
Those are the Deathly Hallows.
Act 2. Now, at Grimmauld Place, the trio seeks shelter and answers. Harry snoops Sirius's bedroom, his old bedroom, and finds nothing of note. But then they have a revelation when they discover Regulus's room and realize he was the one who took the locket and tried to destroy it. He's R.A.B. They interrogate Creature the house elf to tell them where the real locket is. He doesn't know, but he knows who took it. He doesn't know where it is, but he knows. He tells us that Mundungus Fletcher stole it one night. So Harry orders Creature, who is now under his control because Sirius Black just willed all of his possessions to Harry, orders Creature to go look for him, to go find him. Pious Thickness, a Death Eater, is now the Minister of Magic and is set on making the Ministry great again, which translates to making it racist. Here in America, we know that all too well. He calls for a total background check on all employees to make sure they're pure blood, I'm guessing. Umbridge is there. She loves it. Creature and Dobby bring Mundungus to the trio, and he tells them he gave the locket to Umbridge. They take some Polyjuice Potion as random Ministry workers and infiltrate the Ministry. Ron's avatar has a wife on trial. Harry tries to get the locket from Umbridge's office, but it's not in there. Hermione goes to a court case with Ron's avatar's wife on trial with Umbridge. And this part, she really infuriates me because this chick...
It's total bullshit.
The wife is a witch. She gets the wand because she's a witch. And Umbridge is like, you're lying. And I'm like, it's just so infuriating. But Harry's potion starts to wear off, and he stupefies Umbridge, and then Hermione takes the locket, and the Ministry is in pursuit of the gang, and Yaxley, who is a Lucius Malfoy wannabe look-alike, chases them. They get in the Flu Network and make it to the woods, but Ron is hurt. I can't remember the term they use.
Splinched.
Yep. They tent up and try to destroy the locket, but it's too advanced of a magic. Harry has a mirror shard that he keeps seeing someone's eye. He gets a vision of Voldemort interrogating the wand maker Gregorovitch about something powerful. He says a boy took it. A lot of walking commences before some snatchers come around, but the crew is protected because Hermione works some logic and remembers... No, she works some magic with the protection curse, but then she works some logic and remembers that the sword of Gryffindor has basilisk blood on it, which makes it stronger and can destroy Horcruxes conveniently enough, but they don't know where it is. Ron gets pissy because he's wearing the locket, and they just leave it on him. Like, Hermione, like, why doesn't he... Whatever. Harry and Hermione apparate to the mountains and dance. Harry kisses the snitch and reveals the message, I open at the close. Hermione discovers the triangle with the line and circle symbol. Mr. Lovegood had that necklace with the same symbol as well. The duo go to Godric's Hollow and visit Harry's parents' gravesite and see his childhood home. They're met by the grandma from The Visit, the movie The Visit, or potentially Deborah Logan. This is from a horror movie called The Taking of Deborah Logan, where there's this old lady who slowly gets possessed by a snake demon. It's actually really scary, and then she eats kids or something. Anyway, she's here, but she goes by Bathilda Bagshot. That's who it is now. And she doesn't speak. They go to her haunted house, and she turns into Nagini. And luckily, this scene is terrifying. That she's scary. It's old. Okay. They escape. She was a friend of Dumbledore's, by the way, we mentioned. Hermione reads that the person from Harry's dream and Bathilda's house, because she has a picture of him, was Gellert Grindelwald. Also, Harry's wand was broken in the escape. And can he catch a break? While on security detail, Harry is guided by a doe Patronus to a frozen lake where the sword is. He dives in, the necklace almost kills him, and he's saved by Ron, who then proceeds to fight through a porn featuring Harry and Hermione and destroys the Horcrux with the sword. Hermione is mad at him still, though, and she decides to go see Mr. Lovegood to get the scoop on the triangle. Mr. Lovegood tells them the symbol is that of the Deathly Hallows, and we get the story of the three brothers who received them from death. They are as follows: the Elder Wand, which we've seen from Dumbledore. And Grindelwald, that's what he's stealing. That's what Voldemort wants. And there's the Resurrection Stone, and then the Cloak of Invisibility, which Harry possesses. The stone, we don't know where it is. Mr. Lovegood reveals that Luna was taken, and then Death Eaters attack because he bargains with them. The trio flees into the woods where they get chased and captured by Snatchers, as Harry gets his face distorted and has a vision of Voldy talking to Grindelwald about the Elder Wand being with Dumbledore in his grave. Did you follow all that?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Harry knows the effect of the necklace. Why do they have to wear it? Can't they just put it in their pocket? Like, what are we doing? It
acts
gets
like
Ron
the One
worst.
Ring.
Yeah, except it affects Ron the most. Harry just gets a little annoyed with Hermione, and she's like, take it off. You're not you when you're hungry. And she gives him a Snickers.
Who does he turn into?
And then he just turns back into Harry. But I want to skip ahead before I forget. Why does Bathilda have a picture of Grindelwald?
Because he's her nephew.
Okay, got it. That's all I needed to know.
Or something like that.
Got it.
They're related.
We get the first of many camping scenes. We learn about Grindelwald. Yeah, Godric's.
We go from going to Grimmauld Place, which I spoke of it differently. It's different in the book. I mentioned an episode last or so, where Remus shows up. That would have been... Well, I think that's not really necessary in the movie, now that I think
would have liked more Lupin in this.
Well, Lupin shows up and tells him to, like, just give it up. Like, it's over. Like...
Give it up.
Just...
They're dead, son.
Stay safe, keep hiding. And he's like, no, I need to keep looking for the Horcruxes and blah, blah, blah. And Remus tries to talk him out of it, but he's like, I can't believe you're saying this. And then Remus leaves, and...
Yeah, I remember Remus is kind of a douche in the book.
A little bit.
Oh, also, we forgot to mention, because they barely mentioned it in the... They didn't mention it in the movie, really. But Tonks is pregnant. And she and Lupin are married.
Yeah, but they're cut out. Oh, you say that because he's a dog.
What?
She and Lupin are mating?
I said married.
I thought you said mating.
No, they're married.
Oh, okay.
No. Hey, you know who real quick, sidebar. I just want to give a special thanks, speaking of mating, to our voice, Joel the voice, Powie, for our intro at the beginning. Thank you, Joel. And
what does it have to do with mating?
I don't know. Something that he would do. I don't know. Whenever I think of
there were a couple times this episode where I wanted to say something about Joel, but I held my tongue.
Well, you shouldn't have. Just let it fly, man.
Let it fly, let it fly.
How many... What do you think... Dude, sidebar real quick. Fun exercise. What would be one of your we'll talk about... You know what? I
would never have a Horcrux because I'm not going to murder somebody.
If you did...
If I did, my victim would be Joel.
No, and what would you put your soul in?
I'm kidding.
I think I'd put my soul in Joel. So then to get to me, I'd have to go through him. And then, whew.
I feel a little... I'm growing a beard.
Boy. No, we'll talk. That's going to be a segment. That's going to be a segment to wrap up. Your Horcruxes.
Your Horcrux. The ABCs of Horcruxes.
Your Horcruxes and you. Hi. So you just killed somebody. Your soul is changing.
You can check your Horcrux in the newspaper.
You want to put it into an item, but you don't know what to pick. Here are the 5 most used Horcruxes. Diaries. Goblets. Rings of a loved one. Necklaces of somebody famous. And pets.
That should have been your ad. Your special ad.
Well...
But Tupperware, that would be my Horcrux. George Lucas's glasses.
Well, it's had to be something you can get your hands on. I think, you know what?
Oh no, those are my glasses. I can't see.
Oh man.
What?
That's out of place.
We don't need to think about that.
It's going to bother me if I don't put it back.
Okay, so, man, we're going with Dobby and Mundungus and Creature. I was thinking they're being awful disrespectful to him. I don't care if he's calling. I don't care. I mean, especially because in the book, Hermione's all like pro house elf, and in this one, she's even kind of being terse with him. And Harry's like, "Give me the info," blah blah blah. He doesn't say that, but you get the gist. But I was like, you can be a little nicer to him.
No.
Especially because he's your quote-unquote property now, because Sirius is will.
You gotta be assertive so he knows you mean business.
He would have listened to him regardless, because he's his owner.
But he would have followed a loophole.
No,
But if Harry intimidates him...
No.
I know, you're right.
I think Harry should... No, you're fine, you have your opinion. I just disagreed with how they treated him.
No, I don't like how they treat him. I wish they'd treated him better.
And he kind of is like flinching and stuff, and when he's being questioned and he's backing up into a wall and he's like going like
touching
rubbing
his face,
rubbing himself. Not like that.
I touch myself.
But
when I'm interrogated, I touch myself. Oh, I'm a house.
Mundungus Creature, go find him and bring him here. Okay.
I don't know where to look, but I have to listen. Okay, see ya.
I like Dobby's return.
He just happened to run in. What Creature comes in? Hey!
They just run into Creature and Master Harry Potter.
Missed opportunity. Harry. Oh, well, I guess they'll just let anyone in here, you old sack of shit. How you doing, buddy?
Really?
You know, when dads see other dads in a restaurant, that's the line.
I've never said that. But of course,
I'm not a dad. Heard...
My dad's never said that.
You've never heard a dad?
No.
When they see one of their buddies come into
hey, you old sack of shit, get over here.
They insult. That's what they do. They go, what? You've never heard them? Oh, I guess they'll just let anyone in.
You bastard.
Come here, you old rat bastard. How are you? Yeah. Hey, how's Claire? Good.
Did Harry Potter just call me a fat bastard?
Rat
bastard, excuse me.
You've really never heard anybody say that?
No.
It's such a classic. I guess they'll let anyone in.
We learn who has the locket, blah, blah, blah. You already said that. We go to the ministry.
Oh, yeah, Umbridge has the locket. Yeah, let's start there. That's
nobody notices them dragging a body into the door. Okay.
Magic, forget what you know.
Strange. Are they in a mirror dimension because of Doctor Strange?
They are. They are, yeah.
Ministry of Magic. That is really dark, and I love how they showed that statue. I'm not prejudiced against Muggles.
If you have to say it.
It's book accurate. The magic is might thing with all the people underneath, like trying to climb out of and with the ministry logo with the wand in the middle, and it's like we're superior. It's so well done. Like the art direction on how to design that is so well done. And it's very dystopian and creepy in a realistic way. It's like something you might see in Nazi Germany.
A lot of Nazi undertones, yes.
Well, look at the outfits of the people who are just grabbing people and dragging them away. They're almost like in the Hunger Games. How they dress out down in the bunker in their fascist society.
You know what else reminded me of the Nazis is Umbridge's books. They look like a...
Yeah, anti-Jewish rhetoric.
Yeah, that style. And like the color scheme, like they look like those like Nazi books that you see in movies and stuff.
Like Attack of the Muggle with a crazy guy carrying a knife. And it's like, I was wondering, I think some of those books may have been published in the wake of like Grindelwald's failed revolution.
So Voldemort's not really Hitler.
Grindelwald is kind of like Hitler. Voldemort is...
Donald Trump.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. I don't...
Worse?
No, he's smarter. He's more cunning. He's more calculating. Oh. Or unless Donald Trump is calculating, we just don't see that side of him. But...
Voldemort
he's more like evil. He's like just evil, almost like Ganondorf. Yeah. Where he's like evil incarnate. He's born in unnatural circumstances.
Like the Antichrist.
Kind of.
Yeah, let's go with that. I like it.
I noticed in the newspaper there were like Death Eaters are rising, like the number of Death Eaters are rising, like people are joining Voldemort's cause, and that's concerning.
Yeah, they're trying to cover their own ass.
I think this is a cycle in the wizarding world. You get revolutions that talk about Muggle superiority or inferiority, rather, and it becomes a big hot button issue.
I just want to say,
it's divisive.
I just want to say, I might not like all Muggles, but being half myself, they're equals. They just can't do magic.
And that's
cool
the thing.
Stuff.
It's so interesting. Like if you read the backstory of Tom Riddle, he's a self-hating half-blood.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
It's like, dude, you're a half-blood yourself, and you're a hypocrite by going after all these people. And like you said, Umbridge and her, you stole this from a witch. It's like, what are you talking about? I went to Ollivander's. The wand chose me. I had a big halo show up over me, and a light showed up. It was very magical.
Yeah, you can be a witch.
And I'm a witch. Just because my mom was a Muggle doesn't mean I'm not one of you.
It's so weird that they think
if it was an unnatural thing, it wouldn't be. It would be an about. It just wouldn't be. It wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. Exactly. You can't get a wand.
No.
If you're not a witch or wizard. So why then?
It was just
this has been going on
gaslighting. It was just making shit up because it doesn't fit your narrative and the goals of what you're trying to do.
Nazis.
And you just completely lie about people who you disagree with or are prejudiced towards.
Yeah.
That was annoying.
Yeah, So did she die? Is that the last that we see of her? I can't remember.
She doesn't die.
Why? Does she go to Azkaban?
It's not.
I think she ends up in Azkaban. I hope.
I think she
Umbridge,
might. She might.
By the way.
I wonder what the Nuremberg trial equivalent is in the Wizarding world. That would be what a sequel book could deal with, I think.
Now, what is that? I know that it has to deal with...
It's when the Nazis who were found out and captured were tried by like the United Tribunal, United Nations Tribunal, something like that.
Gotcha. Oh,
for their war crimes.
When skipping ahead, when the Snatchers get them, and they all make up fake names, and Hermione uses a fake name, why does she put herself in danger by saying Half-Blood?
I don't know.
Why would she say that? Like why? You wouldn't want to.
You wouldn't want to tell them you're Half-Blood. I don't know. I thought it might have been a thing to manipulate them into doing something.
Maybe that could be.
Yeah, she plays Mathelda. She took Mathelda's identity, and I'm sitting here thinking, did they brew this Polyjuice Potion like left over from months ago? Because it takes months to brew, and they got it in an instant. Little fun fact in Act 3 about what's her name? Bellatrix's hair. They make a big deal about her hair floating down.
Okay.
Well, I'll mention it later.
Yeah, mention it later.
The whole ministry scene is interesting and engaging, especially the ending.
Right, when Harry's just running around as himself.
And it's like, you are in danger zone number 1 right here.
Yeah, you're undesirable number 1. There's posters, which is public enemy number 1.
It would be like being a... Nope, not going to say
that. It shows how powerful of a witch Hermione is to change destinations mid-apparate. That's cool, because she's like, yeah, I was going to go to Grimmauld Place, but then I realized he can't, if he actually saw that, we'd be compromised there, so we just had to go to the woods.
He wouldn't know that it was Grimmauld Place, and even then he wouldn't know how to get into it.
Yeah, once you know, you know. Like, it goes into detail in the book. Like, there's
a reason why in the book.
Secret keepers that have the secret to getting in, and if somebody finds out where it is, they can get in it somehow.
Love the way it looks, by the way.
Not explained here.
The set decorating in Grimmauld Place still. But there's a thing going on with, why would they go through the Flu network if they flushed down the toilet? That was something that bugged me.
Okay.
He should have been...
Just to be
diagonally. As he knocked out. Why am I here? Oh, shit.
Oh, this is a regular toilet?
Oh. They do a good job with the ADR, I must say, with the double acting.
And those actors and actress movements as them, I think, are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if those are like, if you're British and you watch British shows or something, like I wonder if those are those are cool cameos by, I don't know.
Did you notice when Ron gets off, Reginald, he gets off the elevator, kind of a chilling interaction with the actually, like, I don't know, but if my wife were being questioned for her pure blood status and I had a rainstorm going on in my boss's office, I think that might be a priority, don't you? Okay.
Listen, I'm not really him. I don't care about his wife. I just gotta protect this guy right here, my boy.
I like how when he gets off the elevator, you can hear the rain off in the background.
And then you
I
see
didn't
him all
catch
wet
that
later.
until today. Yeah.
Try
Finite Incantatem.
I don't know what that is. Okay,
Hermione. Oh, fuck.
What if that doesn't work?
Oh, Billywig. Shit.
Don't you think if that would have worked, he'd have done that himself? Oh, they're gone. Great. Cool. Yeah, let's figure it out.
Dementors are cool. Like,
chasing him.
I was thinking, what the hell is her happy thought to create a Patronus that strong? Umbridge with her little cat.
Oh,
what kind of thing is she thinking about?
What's going on? She's happy that all this is going on.
Oh, and she's got the eye on her door, and I remember that
Moody's
in the book.
eye.
Reading that in the book. I was at band camp when I was reading the book. Yeah. Because I got the book right before I went to band camp, and I brought the book with me. And here's a sidebar. I forgot to tell you this story. I brought the book with me to band camp.
Yes.
And I brought it out to the field during practice for some stupid, idiotic, dumb reason.
To read while you're
well, you're not going to read it. You're practicing at band camp. You're marching. And then cherry on top, it started raining. So my book got rained on and kind of damaged the cover a little bit.
Gay.
You didn't read your thing.
Will you hand that to me, please? I did not do this at the beginning. This is the best one. Guys, I forgot to. I was so excited to talk about it.
I was going to mention it earlier.
I got the book right here, and it's got a message.
I didn't want to interrupt the flow, but we're doing it.
It's got a message. I got to read this one. This is a very good one. I've been waiting to read this one. Okay. So the final book right here. Final grandma's message in this book, because it's the final book. Spencer, I know you're not interested in Harry Potter as you once were. However, we wanted to complete your set. Remember when Papa didn't think you should read the books? We checked it out and decided they were okay. If you ever read this book and find this note, always remember how much we love you and how very proud of you we are. You have brought us much happiness through your 16 years. Thanks. Love always, Grandpa and Grandma, 2007. She put Grandpa in this one because I was getting a little older, so I started calling him Grandpa.
That's lovely.
That's my favorite because
that's great.
Like if you ever find this note, like she wrote it knowing that I probably wasn't going to read it at least for a really long time, and I don't think I discovered that note until
it's very special
later on. And I was, it gets me a little bit. I'm like, like just even though they knew I didn't read, and then to put like the memory in there,
poetic.
It is because Harry's remembering all this stuff, and then she's like, "Remember when we didn't think you should read it, but we checked it out?" It's just cool. That's my favorite note. I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, and it shows the progression, from me calling him Papa as a younger kid to I call him Grandpa now. And she put Grandpa and Grandma now. That was just kind of cool. So 2007, I was 16. Nice. I was able to drive.
Oh.
But anyway, that's the book right there. Back to...
That's one of my favorite covers, by the way.
It's a sweet cover. The orange.
And then it wraps around and shows... They're like reaching to grab the wand, I think.
I think you're right. Yeah, it gets super simple in the last one, where it's just him on the front. I kind of wish there was a little bit more in the front. But it doesn't matter. It's whatever. They got lazy with the cover.
Oh.
Let's go to Lovegood's house. No.
We got a lot to cover.
Let's hit the main point. Okay. Ron Ron gets pissy because of the necklace and leaves.
Think the
he
necklace
storms off.
What's the word? It's right on the top of my head.
It's negativity.
It amplifies the emotions that you're going through. Harry's mad and frustrated. Negative ones, which can also include sadness, and that's what I think it brings to Hermione, because Hermione seems to be impervious to it. But it's annoying me. My phone keeps vibrating.
Well, get it. Could be an emergency.
No,
so Ron takes off. Hermione's having a tough time, but she and Harry are like, we gotta continue, and then they just randomly dance.
That scene, I just read an article about that, and she was very uncomfortable.
I would be too.
Filming that, because she's like, I read the books, and I know that this scene isn't in the book. So awkward. And it feels weird to me, but J.K. Rowling came through and said, hey, you know what? I actually kind of like it because it was something I had thought about but didn't write and put into words.
There's a reason you didn't write it, because it doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
It's stupid.
And it kind of builds off of the whole Dumbledore asking out about, I see you spend a lot of time with Mrs. Granger.
So then have them end up together.
Whoa. No. But my sister thinks that she should have ended up not with Harry or not with Ron, but with someone else.
Mundungus.
No.
Neville.
No.
Luna.
I'm not going to say it.
Maybe.
No lesbian.
Why?
No, that's not. I am so sorry.
Okay,
I totally did not mean it that way. I completely did not. I really didn't.
We know.
I really didn't.
That would have been a cool twist.
I think it's a little weird too, because it almost looks like they're going to take each other's clothes off right at the beginning.
Yeah.
When he takes the locket off of her. And that's why the point I'm making about, I'm kind of switching back and forth. The thing about the locket is it amplifies whatever emotion you're going through that's negatively impacted. Like sadness. Hermione's sad because Ron left, and when the minute he takes that off and dances with her, she's like happy again.
Yeah, like, let's do it, bro. And he's like, do what? And she's like, dance.
Harry's pissed off because, like Ron says, he doesn't know what he's doing. This is the whole travel montage. We're traveling, we're listening to the radio, listening to the names of people who have gone missing, which is very chilling.
Yeah.
Just that whole montage of walking through the trailer parks that have been blown up and burned, the nuclear power plants.
Yeah, super cool.
The fields and stuff, and that the planes in the air. I love that whole travel montage.
Yes,
But...
And then Harry's watching. He's watching out, and he sees the doe, and you're like, who's Patronus is this that came to show me where the sword is? Also, fun fact, his mother's Patronus was a doe.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll know that comes in.
So there's later. Another connection. Ring theory
but
to
it's not his mom.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
But then he sees the sword, goes to get it, but the necklace is like, no, you don't. That could kill me. I'm gonna kill you. I always
hate that part where it like tights so tight that it looks like it's like a choker with just a single line going out.
Choking him,
and it's like.
But then
take it off, you dumbass.
Roid Rage Ron, comes up and saves him and gets the sword.
And then he says a funny little comment after he pulls him up out of the water.
What's he say? I found Jim at the pub.
No.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It. But how it's a little.
We keep forgetting shit.
They really hammer home the trying to get at Ron, the necklace, because it talks to him and it shows you. It tries to throw you off, like the smoke.
Dude, that's accurate. Book accurate too.
Like Harry, the Harry projection and Hermione projection.
Their eyes.
And she's like, you have a small penis. And Harry's like, I can't even see it. And then they're naked.
Yeah.
And it turns
not
into
at
a
first.
Porn. No, not at first. But they're naked.
That kiss scene is kind of intense.
It's kind of uncomfortable. But Ron fights through it and destroys the Horcrux.
I love the
Harry's
music
on the
in
other
that
side.
scene
What if he missed?
Then Harry would have got his head split in half.
How's that for a scar?
But he wouldn't have died.
Well, yeah.
No.
Wouldn't he have? Oh, because Voldemort has to do it, right? Yeah.
But epic moment with the locket being smashed. because it opens up, and then the big, like all the darkness inside bursts. Very dramatic the way it's shot.
Yep.
Love it. And the music's fantastic, reminding me of John Williams again, as did the escape from the Ministry.
Old Johnny
when
Will.
Yaxley is following them.
Yep.
And it's like, it's Harry Potter, it's Harry Potter. And they're running, all the papers are flying around, and the music it's called Fireplace's Escape. It's very reminiscent of John Williams. But yes, that's one of my favorite sequences. The splinched part, they make it sound way worse in the book.
Yeah,
and how bloody it is.
He's got a little scratched up.
Love the travel montage. I think I actually got a little emotionally impacted. Whoa. By the whole scene where, okay, first off, Hermione finds out the secret of cutting Harry's hair. The secret of cutting Harry's hair. And the sword, and everything is imbued that doesn't make anything that makes it stronger becomes part of the sword. So the basilisk, you kill the basilisk, therefore the venom becomes part of the sword's strengths.
I like Harry's reaction to those. That's great.
Brilliant. It's Goblin Maid. Brilliant.
He's just standing there with his thumb.
No, you don't get it. Yeah. He's like, what's the point? But then the drama of...
What does it all mean, Hermione?
What does it all mean, Hermonigal? What? Ron dramatically takes the light out. I hate... That was just like... It makes it...
mean?
I'm still here. That's right. I'm still here.
Like, yeah, we know, but you're useless.
Like,
all right, Harry, the sword, it killed the basilisk, so it has the basilisk that it makes it strong. It can kill the Horcrux. I could kill the Horcrux. Ron, you're a moron. You couldn't. But the sword, Harry, it could.
Oh, you know what? I'm leaving. Here's the locket. Take it.
Good.
Hermione, you're going with me, or you're staying with this guy? Because he don't know what the fuck he's doing. He don't know where we are. He doesn't know. We haven't found a single Horcrux. And where's my calendar? Oh, that's right. I didn't have time to grab one because we had to leave the wedding. No, we haven't found anything. We don't know what we're doing. We didn't even finish school. We're dropouts. We didn't learn everything.
I like their
Dumbledore, he didn't tell you shit.
Why didn't he just tell you how to do it? Then Harry's like, actually, that's a good point. Hermione, he's right. Why didn't he just tell me?
In all seriousness, that was a very realistically emotional scene to me because I would be getting frustrated too if I spent a month dicking around and not being able to do what we set out to do. We haven't found anything. We haven't made any progress. We don't know how to destroy this thing. And Ron is understandably getting pissed off, but it's getting amplified by the locket. Take it off. It's like Frodo in the One Ring.
Yeah.
Like the longer you carry it and the closer you get to Mordor, the more it has an effect on you.
It's like the Darkhold in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
By the way, spoilers real quick for that movie, Multiverse of Madness. Spoilers. Reed Richards, I called it. Okay.
Your predictions have been getting more, like I said after the movie, they're getting more accurate.
Yeah. But this movie.
But yes, when they're arguing, we don't know what we're doing. Harry, we haven't found a single thing. I thought Dumbledore would have told you. And it's like, I told you everything that he told me. Like, I'm just as pissed off as... And just the way that their friendship like fractures and Ron outbursts and makes that comment about him not having a family. And it's like... Wow,
that's
way out
low,
of line.
you son of a bitch.
Way out of line.
How dare you call my mom a bitch? I didn't. Well, I guess technically I did. She likes me better. She wishes I was her son, not you.
Well, that was the locket saying that.
And Harry. We all know he thinks that.
Your heart, and it is mine.
Okay. What if he just... Okay. Now, let's...
that was from the book, too.
Let's go to the Love Goods. Let's go to the Love Goods.
Well, what about Godric's Hollow?
Oh, yeah, Godric's Hollow. Man, Godric's Hollow.
That's also a sad scene.
Yeah,
in the
when Harry,
graveyard with his gravestone, because this is the first time he's actually
been there. Right?
Well, obviously been there, but that close physically, to and maybe emotionally to his parents, and being where they died, and
creepy how Bathilda's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Just shows up there. She's this creepy
like,
old.
Trying to start the matches, and she can't. And Harry's like, "Oh, let me do that for you."
I can't do it. Sorry.
She can speak parcel English.
I'm not supposed to talk.
I'm not supposed to represent the Dark Lord.
Nagini, a girl.
First of all, we keep comparing it to the books, but I really like how that part is in the book. They do it pretty well because it's all like a flashback sequence.
It's creepier.
Yeah, of when the night of it happened.
Dude, that scene, because she's just, and then she kind of, and then
her jaw. And then they show what she looks like in the mirror. They don't show it directly because PG-13, we can't be too scary. Ugh.
They do show her face kind of sink in.
Yeah.
What mirror? What are you talking about?
The mirror, it shows Harry like reacting to what's happening to her. And it shows the reflection of the mirror, what she's like it.
Oh, yeah,
when she turns into the snake.
Yeah.
But even like Hermione discovers probably her actual body, Bathilda's actual body, being murdered by Nagini, and then Nagini somehow Nagini has returned. Also, yes, way better in the book, but I love how that scene ends in the movie, too. With them, we're fighting the snake, incendio, blah, blah, blah. And then they apparate.
Yeah.
And then you see the smoke out the window and just hold on that scene for just a brief moment, and you're expecting... Because in the book, Voldemort literally is there like half a second before they apparate.
Ah, shit, I just missed him.
I love that.
I tried holding him off. He's like, yo, did you? How hard did you try?
He should have been in the movie, too, like out the window. Like, then it would have been kind of comical.
Yeah! Foiled again!
It would have been comical to see his head kind of
just peep out down there.
Yeah.
They're down there.
But Harry's wand gets broken. Hermione reads the book, tells him that the guy he was wondering about is Gellert Grindelwald. She talks about how she wants to see her parents again. She talks about how the symbol is blah, blah, blah. I saw it in the Beetle the Bard. Ron shows back up. I'm kind of doing what you did with this script notes.
I destroyed the Horcrux. She's still bad.
I would be too.
Yeah.
He just dinked around at pubs. Well, I wanted to come back 5 minutes after I left, but you guys were gone. So then I
went back to the pub, had a couple
took out my illuminator, and I pressed the button, and a little ball of light came out. And it was whispering to me, in your voice, Hermione, and it went right in here into my heart.
And you know what it said?
And
it said Hermione.
I knew where I had to go. And that was when he
it said order.
And all of a sudden they know how to apparate.
Yeah, we assume they.
Why didn't they show that
well, Hermione does
in the movies?
Because Hermione's smart.
No, because Ron got there. He apparated to him after the little ball of light went in his chest.
He was. Hey,
I love Harry's little joke. Do you think she'll ever forgive me? Well, just keep telling her that story about the little ball of light flowing into your heart, and you'll get there. Like,
I mean,
sense of humor.
But then Hermione's like, I want to go see.
Mate, you need a wand. Here, I got one for you. Hold on, let me get. This one I took off a snatcher. Little blackthorn. It might be well suited to you. And points it at I always like these little flames that Hermione makes. And Gorgio.
And then
Reducio.
Yeah, that's really funny. I like that part where it's here. Okay. And then everything okay? Yeah, no, we're good.
Those are the spells that Joel unfortunately has to use.
Yeah.
During certain intimate moments, but
they only last. That's 20
the
minutes.
Poor wizard's Viagra right there.
They only last 20 minutes, which is
the miracle spell for the middle-aged man.
Because what's he supposed to do with the other 19 minutes? All right.
We had to.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. I live here. That light. It's like
why
the
is it flickering?
House. Because it's not fully plugged in.
And they see the broken down ruins of Harry's house.
Yep.
Which reminded me of the book, because the illustration for that chapter is the ruined house.
So
Mike Tyson doing this for the Harry Potter.
That's his name, right?
Xenophilius.
Lovegood. Essentially, this whole thing, like, he's nervous the whole time because he knows the Death Eaters are going to come, because he was like, hey, I just want Luna back, my daughter. So we got desperate and scared and tipped them off that they were there. That's what, but in between,
which is what
he tells them
normal reaction.
He's like, oh yeah, the symbol, it's the Deathly Hallows. Looks at the camera, that's the title. What if he just said that, that's the symbol of the Deathly Hallows, part 1? I mean, just the Deathly Hallows. No, just them. But the Deathly Hallows are what I said, the Elder Wand, which you've seen, the invisibility cloak, and then we get the 3 brothers, and that animation
is amazing.
The story is so sick.
One of the best scenes of the movie, best sequences of the movie. Even with Ron's little interruption. And
you heard that at the top right before, the gist of it, the story, so we won't go into it, but just to reiterate, the 3 brothers met Death as an entity, like Death himself or herself. They all wished stuff, met him, and then the one that had the invisibility cloak hid and, met up with Death like an old friend and went with him gladly. But if you possess all 3 of those,
you're the master of death.
You're the master of death. And then Harry's like, I have one of those.
Voldemort's very interested in that then. Because his whole life's mission is to conquer death.
Mainly
unlike a lot of villains in movies like Palpatine and...
How can a wand be more powerful than another wand? Isn't a wand... It can only do what the wizard or witch can do, right? Does it do it, like, more powerful? Like, does it stun harder? Like, what makes it more powerful? I never understood that.
The core, probably.
But what does it do differently? Like, does it hit harder?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Actually, that makes sense.
It's like the Excalibur of wands.
Okay.
It's mythical. It's a powerful weapon. Like the Skywalker saber, in a sense, which kind of is imbued with maybe the Force, with that residual from Anakin, that sort of thing. It's a legendary, powerful weapon imbued with special properties because it was crafted by Death personified.
Okay, okay, right. That makes sense because
just like the cloak of invisibility has there's invisibility cloaks that are ordinary, but this one is different.
Wands they're kind of like guns. Like there are guns. Like don't all guns do the same? No, some guns shoot with more power. They shoot more at a time. I don't know guns. I'm showing my hand that I don't. But just like a handgun is not gonna be as like powerful as say a bazooka, but that's still a gun. So they're just different levels of wands, different models. The Elder Wand model. Okay, well, I get it now.
Death is I think this obviously the tale is true because they actually exist.
Well, it's based on something.
Yeah, but maybe the tale might be exaggerated, but the items were actually crafted and they exist.
Yeah.
But, yeah, all 3 products, you can't buy them off a shelf. All 3 items have, like, extraordinary abilities.
They're kind of like the Elder legendary Wand. Pokemon.
Exactly. They're one of a kind, and there's no other stone that does what the Resurrection Stone does, which is the stone that was in the ring. If you notice the shape of the stone in the animation, it's shaped like that diamondy prism shape.
Yeah.
That's in the ring.
So that ring isn't a Horcrux then.
It is.
Not if it has the Resurrection Stone. The Resurrection Stone's not
the ring was a ring
itself.
Horcrux. Yes, but it seeded the Resurrection Stone on it, which was taken off and put somewhere special.
Gotcha. Yes.
And one thing I recognized when I love how the story of the Deathly Hallows brings together, like through fate almost.
Yeah.
The 3 key figures: Dumbledore, Voldemort, and Harry. Harry in the Peverils, which he may or may not be related to Dumbledore that way, being ancestors of or descendants of the Peverell family. Harry and the invisibility cloak, Dumbledore and the Elder Wand, and Tom Riddle and the Riddle Gaunt family, having the stone, the resurrection stone, passed down. It's very Destiny.
You know what it is?
Where they're all related in some way through an ancient, like a family connection. Means? I love that.
Harry and Voldemort, I hate to say it, they're a dyad.
Oh, no, you said it wrong. Dyad. Dyad.
I wanted to say it regular for once. They kind of are, though.
They kind of are. With their relationship with the wands and the prophecy. One cannot die while the other lives. All that stuff. Yeah. They are kind of a dyad. But I love how it has that almost like... It reminds me of like in Zelda. How the three characters, Ganondorf / Demise, which is the source of all evil in Skyward Sword. You haven't played that game yet. But that tells the origin story of why it's always the three of them. Why it's always Zelda, Link, and Ganondorf? Because the ancient evil Demise set a curse and said, I will follow your bloodline in the spirit of the hero and the blood of the goddess forever and ever, and will always be intertwined in conflict or whatever. That's why it's always Link, Zelda, and Ganon. Reminds me of this. Dumbledore, Voldemort, and Harry. They're kind of connected through the Deathly Hallows and this conflict. And it's just interesting how they are connected in that way. It creates this, I don't know.
It would be
it's more engaging.
To be the master of death.
It makes you more interested in the characters knowing that they're connected more so than just being, he's the villain, this is the good guy. They have deeper roots in their family relationships.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
It's fate.
It is.
And I love Xenophilius' reaction. Like, very good performance by Rhys Ifans. Lizard.
A.K.A. the Lizard. A.K.A.
Leave him alone!
A.K.A. Nigel Gruff, the kicker from The Replacements. That was the first thing I ever saw him in.
Little Nicky's brother.
Oh, yeah. A.K.A. I can't think of anything
else he's in either. Yeah. He's in an animated movie. Oh, no, he's in The King's Man as Rasputin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A.K.A. I like him as an actor. He's
good actor.
He might be one of my favorites.
Except I noticed a continuity error when he was drawing the symbol.
What was
Deathly Hallows. He drew the circle, and then the next cut, it was a different shaped circle.
Well, yeah, because you take different takes.
But it's like, that's important, though. It's distracting.
But it's a circle. It's hard to duplicate.
I loved his... Oh, that's silly, man. I forgot the water. Well, we're going to be going, no, you can't! Like, I loved that, because...
Not yet.
It's a real reaction. He's like, you can't leave. You need to stay here, because I need my daughter back. They didn't like what I was writing in the Quibbler, which is something that happens when in totalitarian states. If you write something that we don't like, you're going to get punished. You're going to be tracked down. You're going to be surveilled. You're going to be kidnapped. You're going to be forced to write something different.
You might just disappear.
And that's scary.
It is. So of course he would do that. As a dad, he wants his daughter.
You can tell something's not right.
Yeah, the whole time, because he's not
opens the
quirky,
door.
happy. He's just
Harry Potter.
Oh, shit! What? Nothing. I just didn't nod you, Kim, and
Luna coming, sis.
My daughter
coming, Luna.
She'll be here shortly.
Only to see him dressed up.
I would have liked a moment where, like, maybe the Hermione and Ron go off to do something, and then Harry's like, Luna's not coming back, is she? They have her. And then he's just like, yes, forgive me, Harry. And then it would have been pretty cliche for that to happen. And he goes, it's okay. And then they come. He doesn't die, does he?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
He doesn't die in the book either.
No, good.
Can't kill Reese. His house gets blown up. Which,
boom.
Then went and got himself blown up. And then he got landed with the Snatchers.
Snatchers, they get him, but Hermione, quick thinking.
You notice he's wearing the scarf that she tied around the tree?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
When?
Because she apparates them to the corner of the lake, the woods near the lake where Ron leaves. Hermione.
Is wearing what scarf?
She tied a scarf around the tree.
For what?
Before they left, after Ron abandons them.
That's like a marker?
Because he's angry. Yes, as a marker. And she wraps it around the tree. They apparate back to that location after they leave Lovegoods.
Oh, because it gives her something to
yes,
to look at.
Like
instead of just,
see, like, okay, this
tree.
is the same place.
Because you have to see where you're going to apparate.
Yes. I don't... Do you?
I think so. Otherwise, they'd apparate to a completely different country.
How did they change apparitions after they jumped through the Flu Network?
Because she's advanced. I don't know. Forget what you know. You don't know.
I don't know. And you can see...
But she messes up Harry's face.
She messes up Harry's face. Vernon Dudley, okay.
Nice touch. And
but
nice quick
I love the not showing the forehead when he, like, checks. And he's like, oh, no. We're going somewhere else. We're not taking this lot to the ministry. We're going. And then it shows, oh, where are we going? That's the next act. But there's a couple more things. I like how in Pious Thickness's little speech there,
yeah,
you can see he's like freaked out and scared because his hands are like going like this, and he's like twiddling his hands nervously.
They're doing all this stuff out of fear, not because they actually really want to help him. Like, if I do this, I'll stay alive.
Mm-hmm. And I think the word Voldemort, in the book, it's been cursed. So if you say it,
he can find you.
They can find you. Which is a nice touch because I think there's a scene in the movie where they say Voldemort.
I think it's
Xenophilius. He says Voldemort.
And then they
show up. Yes,
it's
right.
It's like
then
saying Beetlejuice, but you only have to say it once.
Yeah. It has been tabooed. So if anyone says it, they can be tracked. I remember that.
Which is why everybody's afraid to say it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work quite as the way it works.
He takes advantage of the fear of using the name.
Yes.
Or rather, now the not fear. I guess it works both ways. Either way.
I mean, imagine if to call me, he who must not be named. Doesn't sound as cool. You know who? No, we don't.
You know who's better.
Voldemort. Tom Riddle. And then he gets there and he's like, did you use my real name? Prepare to die. I meant Voldemort. It's too late. Fuck face.
Ron does he get a few good hits on the Snatchers?
Yeah.
Before
he
gets chained up?
It's weird to me that some of their curses and spells are non-verbal, but then others, for the audience, they say them, so we know. It's like
Hermione damn near mortar shelled them, last two guys, before she's stopped. Must have been Reducto.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Also, why would they be sending... I'm shocked. Do they still think that the students will be safer at Hogwarts than with them at the Burrow? Well, actually, that's a stupid question. They did just get attacked at the wedding, so...
Yeah.
So I guess Hogwarts would be safer. Professor McGonagall's still there.
Yeah, Professor
other
McGonagall.
Professors are still there. I remember...
Flitwick, the duel champ.
Mm-hmm.
Snape.
Mm-hmm. The two brothers, the Caro twins.
Oh,
I remember them specifically.
Yeah, bad news. You want to go to Act 3? Wrap it up.
There is a rap song, or a little song that somebody made, Little Ball of Light. They made fun of it, I think, at the Oscars.
We'll have to find it.
They have it's like little ball of light. I'll put it in.
Yeah, put it in.
I'll put it in.
That's what she said.
Look, I wanted to come back as soon as I left. This ball of light, this tiny ball of light, floated to my chest, floated through me right here. I heard your voice, whisper my name.
What exactly did I say, may I ask?
Hey.
I say, hey, you say, hey, hey, you say, hey.
You're my light, you're my tiny ball of light, you're my little tiny ball of light.
All right, I put it in. Whoa. Joel, take it easy.
Easy. I thought you were Joel there for a second. All right, Act 3.
That's funny. I think we can move on to Act 3.
All right,
yes.
Act 3.
Stupid elf! You could have killed me!
Dobby never meant to kill. Dobby only meant to maim or seriously injure.
How dare you take a witch's wand! How dare you defy your masters!
Dobby has no master. Dobby is a free elf, and Dobby has come to save Harry Potter and his friends.
The Malfoy Mansion is the destination, and Bellatrix and the Malfoy family await the arrival of the team. They don't recognize Harry, but they spot the sword, and Bellatrix freaks out because it was supposed to be in her vault at Gringotts, which is weird that they let criminals still keep vaults. In the dungeon, Harry and Ron are reunited with Luna, Griphook the Goblin, and Ollivander. They can't escape, it's enchanted. Hermione gets tortured by Bellatrix and gets a new tattoo. And Dobby apparates into the dungeon. They knock out Wormtail, disarm everyone upstairs, and Dobby drops a chandelier almost on Bellatrix. She releases Hermione, and Dobby apparates everyone out, but Bellatrix throws a knife in the swirly. They land on a beach and realize Dobby has been stabbed. He dies in Harry's arms, proclaiming that he's happy to be Harry's friend. R.I.P. to the best free elf there ever was. Voldemort finds Dumbledore's tomb and breaks it open, stealing the Elder Wand and throwing up a blue beam in the sky to symbolize dominance, as any superhero villain does if they are smart.
Swirly?
Yeah, I couldn't think of what else to call it. Kind of a
First
quicker.
things first.
Yeah, dude, when Dobby, every time I watch this,
That made me emotional today.
Me too. When he says Dobby is happy that you're my friend,
What a beautiful
or that
place.
I'm your friend,
Like, what
Harry
a beautiful
Potter.
place to be with friends.
Oh,
Dobby
man.
is happy to be with his friend, Harry Potter. And then he dies.
Son of a gun.
And
Why
just
we gotta kill Dobby?
we should close his eyes. It'll be just like he's sleeping that way.
Yeah,
And-
Luna.
Oh man, that
She
got
makes
me.
the best out of any situation.
Sad. I think
Yes.
that made me sad when I saw it at the theater. Even I think, if I
It was
remember
rough.
that part, I remembered at the theater.
It
Now it's
could have
coming back
been-
to me.
It could have been way more impactful if he'd have, I don't know, shown up more throughout the movies when he was supposed to.
Mhm. Like in the fourth one.
Yes,
With
and in this
Winky
one,
and
really,
Dobby, he's working in the kitchens.
the way I find it funny when, like, just the way the line is said when he goes when Harry's like, Dobby, you can apparate in here, and he goes, yes, sir, I'm an elf. Like, I just like that, like, duh.
I don't
Like-
think. I think house elves aren't limited by the
They're not.
enchantments of wizards and witches.
Wormtail, is it in part 2?
No,
Maybe, but in this one, in the book, he
I'm
dies.
ticked that
'Cause
this
his-
is different in the book.
Yeah.
because this is.
It would have been sweet.
It would have been a better fitting ending rather than making it. Okay, for those of you who've read the book, you know what we're talking about, and you probably feel the same way.
His metal hand
Chokes himself
him.
because he betrayed. Because they talk him out of it, or they talk him down. I think.
Yeah,
I think they talk him down, and he betrays Voldemort. So the hand that Voldemort gave him ends up choking him out.
Which reminds me of another
and
movie I'll
killing
tell you
him.
in a sec.
But in this one, no, we get Dobby, meet me at the top of the stairs in 10 seconds, and then Wormtail shows up,
And then he just gets hit.
Ow!
But,
and it turns into a joke.
In the book, it's like a debt is fulfilled because in Azkaban, Wormtail is like I owe you my life or something, Harry, because he doesn't kill him.
Oh,
and it's like it seems like a throwaway line, but it's like
I think you're right about that.
Turns out,
I think you're right. I think that's the reason.
The hand turning on him. Have you ever seen or heard of the movie Dr. Strangelove?
No, I have not.
And How I Learned to Love the Atomic Bomb?
No.
Older movie. Peter Sellers plays a bunch of different characters, but there is a character in there, Dr. Strangelove. He's in a wheelchair, and he's this doctor that works on atomic bombs or something.
No way.
But he has a hand that is like, it's a dark comedy, so that's played for like comedy. The hand is a Nazi. He is not a Nazi. So the hand, he's constantly, the running joke is he's fighting against his hand and like he's like hitting his hand away and like trying to control his hand because his hand is a Nazi, and it tries, like I think it tries to choke him at one point, but he stops it. So that's what this reminded me of. Well, the book. Okay.
This light is really, I think you're touching
there. I'm not touching
you
anymore.
were touching
I moved a little bit.
The light has been flickering on and off the whole episode.
But they're there. I don't like how weak Hermione sounds when she's crying. I wish she'd have been like stronger.
What are you saying?
Like she just sounds like, please, like I wish.
No,
she'd have been like, yeah,
are you fucking kidding me?
Torture me,
Excuse
whatever.
me, I'm sorry.
I wish she'd have been stronger. Like, hey, like
when Voldemort, Helena Bonham Carter, again,
Helena,
whatever. Potato, Helena, whatever.
All right. Well,
no.
Well, she's on top. I get that it would like she's
on top. She's interrogating Hermione because you know what? You may be annoyed with them and they're evil, but they're not stupid. Like these are smart people. Bellatrix is smart. She knows who she is. She's like, aha, I know you. How should she not recognize them from the battle at the Ministry?
Right.
And so on and so forth. But when she's like, what else did you steal from my vault? Nothing. I didn't steal anything.
I don't like how she sounds.
I like how that is natural to me. To me, that sounds natural. To you,
but
if
not
it doesn't.
For Hermione. Hermione's like stronger. You'd think she'd be like, nothing. Like, I'm not telling you anything. Like, fuck off. And she's just like,
She turned into Jared Leto.
I guess. But I wish she like fought back a little harder. Like maybe they have a little duel or something. I don't know.
She we don't even see that in the book. We just are described that she's screaming, but her screaming is kind of blood curdling when she's carving in the book. You know, they carve mud blood
in her arm.
But Bellatrix does, and in the movie they do too. But the way that she screams, and this is how I felt about it in years past. She's screaming like bloody murder about this cutting into her arm.
Yeah.
Like bloody murder, like she's cutting her arm off or something. But when you look at it later on in the scene, it just looks like somebody took a scalpel and sliced.
Cut out the word.
Yeah. And I was like, that should look way more bloody and vicious.
I'll say I like it, the acting. The bit when she is just
but the
like,
screaming is
afterwards she's emotionally drained, so she's laying there just like with tears in her eyes or whatever.
Yes.
But I wish she'd have acted a little stronger, like more Hermione like. It doesn't seem Hermione like to just be like that. You'd think
maybe it was acting.
Words. Yeah, I doubt it.
I always like the part where they're climbing up the stairs after the whole Wormtail, which I do think that should have been him getting choked out by his own hand.
And then they just walk past him like, sorry.
Because I remember that from the book, and it should have been.
Do you need a hand? I don't need a hand. I need a face.
But when the snitch flies out of the pocket of that snatcher, and he just is like following him, I like that. Are we sure it's not
sentient?
Sentient? I don't think it is.
Sentient.
But I liked the callback to the whole like flesh memory, and I didn't catch it. I almost swallowed it, and it's like your mind goes instantly back to that iconic scene in Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone, where he catches the snitch. But
you're
gonna kill me.
Yeah, Dobby
How dare you defy your masters?
Dobby is a free elf. Bitch. I wish she'd have added
about
that.
to say it. I wish I would have said that because we would have said it in unison. Bitch.
You should have. And then they and then she throws.
It's like, no, Bellatrix says, "Get over here."
Yeah,
there was a chain.
No chain.
Apparently, she's Scorpion now.
She is.
Can't wait till they make a second one of that. Then we can.
But even in this, when Bellatrix is like, "Call him, call the Dark Lord," and then Lucius, again, they don't want this.
No.
So he hesitates.
He does want it because he's like, if this is Harry Potter. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I need to get in the character. If Draco, if this is Harry Potter, everything will be made normal. You see, everything will be in favor again, and we can go back to how it was. Is that what you want?
Then Draco's like, I don't want to go back to how it is.
No, Draco's like, what? I couldn't hear you.
I have no idea what you said, dude. But I think Draco half covers for him, half truly doesn't recognize him.
He doesn't recognize his dad?
No,
you're talking about Harry.
When he's looking at him, he's like,
I think he knows who it is.
I think he does.
I think he knows
it's
who it is.
In the book.
Okay, first and foremost, he definitely knows that it's him because Ron and Hermione are standing right behind him.
Oh yeah,
they're always together, the three of them. Yeah. He definitely knows it's Harry, and the scar is still there. Just kind of warped,
distorted, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they're idiots. If they, I mean,
but he covers for him. I like that little detail because that little bit comes back kind of later with his mom. In the next, you'll see. I've always loved the grave robber scene because it's the imagery Voldemort.
Oh.
When it's this island and the stones are kind of moving and then he just cracks it open.
And then it rolls down like a square.
Yeah.
It's somewhat satisfying to see that rolling down
and
like that.
And then his face to face with Dumbledore and then he just takes the wand and then that's how it ends with, the villain won.
And he's holding it like this, like almost like
in between his fingers. Yeah.
I just threw a fork at Spencer.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah,
I cast a spell. Yeah. But he doesn't do the that he does.
But the imagery is really cool. Just kind of like a snake slinking in there, breaking the tomb, no regard for it. He doesn't care, looking at it because he's...
How long has Dumbledore been in that tomb?
Couple months.
Couple months, and his body is remarkably well. It reminds me of Robin Williams. Why does Dumbledore smell funny? Well, that would be the formaldehyde, honey. That's why he's so well preserved.
That is good. But yeah, the imagery of him getting in there and just the white tomb on this island. I just always have liked that sequence, and especially how it just ends with that. Like, yeah,
the musical sting and
yes, it's just so like haunting.
Well, it's like the movie acts a lot to show. I mean, we have a small victory with the locket being destroyed, but that's one Horcrux.
Yeah.
We spent maybe 60% of the movie trying to get this one Horcrux and then destroying it. And then we're going to find out what the Deathly Hallows are, because that's an important thing too. And I kind of like how like Hermione and Harry kind of give it to each other in terms of, okay, we're going to go to Godric's Hollow because you want to go there. And it can become somewhat relevant because the sword might be there, which, I'm sorry, that would be the worst place to hide Godric's sword.
Yeah,
that would be,
that ice?
And they're saying like, well, Godric's Hollow, they might have hidden the sword there. And I was like, no, because that is the first place someone would think of that they would hide the sword. I can't speak, but I was like, bad logic.
Yeah, much like you guys just thought of that.
Hermione's like, okay, well, we went to Godric's Hollow. I want to go and see Lovegood because we need to find out what this symbol is about.
Yeah, there's
I feel
a shop
like it's
I
important.
want to check out on the way there. They have this robe that's just super nice.
Wow.
I was speaking as Harry.
Because she's a lady. Okay.
I was speaking as Harry.
And okay. Fine.
So,
apparently Harry's facial
too.
hair takes a long time to grow.
It does, although he does have a little bit of it.
A little stubbly.
17.
A little stubbler.
17. Man. Yeah, this
Shell
strong
Cottage.
end.
Yeah.
Strong end to this movie.
The burial
Stronger
scene.
than the middle.
I want to bury him naturally.
Which I get, but also why?
Hits you because this is a guy, Harry, again. Left and right, he keeps getting important people just ripped away. His parents, Sirius,
Hedwig,
his pet owl,
his wand,
his wand. Okay, Dumbledore. I think I might have said that already, but
Cho,
and now Dumbledore again,
Cedric.
twice. No, Cedric. Witnessing those kind of things that can traumatize, and now Dobby, the person who came to him 1 year later after his first year and tried to warn him, and they became good friends.
Became annoying, but then turns out
this is what I mentioned back in the second episode. Just make me a promise, Dobby. You won't ever try to save my life again. That he says to him after the whole Lucius putting the sock in the book bit.
Yes.
You freed me, free elf. And then he saves his life in this one and forfeits his own unwillingly because of Bellatrix. And it just gives you another reason to dislike that woman.
But Umbridge is still the worst.
I really,
Bellatrix acts evil. Umbridge acts...
Bellatrix acts evil?
Yeah, like she's not hiding it. She's not, she's just evil.
So is Umbridge.
Yeah, but she hides it behind this. Like, she's more condescending also. Just, she's more worse. She's way worse. Because you already know what Bellatrix is. You know what Umbridge is too, but you know what I mean. She tries to put on this, and Bellatrix is like, nah. Muggles.
Wow.
That's what she does.
Wow. Oh yeah, Muggle.
Voldemort, look, I'm literally throwing up. Oh,
in her face.
Do you see how disgusted I am by Muggles?
Don't get me wrong. Helena's performance is very, very good.
Highlight.
Very, very good. Where's Tim Burton in the movie? Where's Johnny Depp?
I went uncredited as a director.
But she is...
Did you know that Tim Burton is Helena Bonham Carter's wife?
Tim Burton is her wife.
Husband, they're married. Did you know that?
I did.
That's why she's in all of his movies. No, that's
in one
not
way
why.
or another.
That's not why, but that's probably how they,
But just her, I want to kill the boy, or whatever. And I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's probably so annoyed with her. Just like, can you stop? Can you be a good guy? I want a reason to get rid of you. Can you just please go to the other team?
But didn't you know they had a child?
Oh, yeah.
In the Cursed Child.
I never read it,
which is supposed to be canon.
Probably
never
But
I don't want to accept that unless... If they make a movie adaptation, that needs to be severely altered. Because Voldemort would never, ever, ever, in any universe, have a child. As Tony Stark would say, there's no universe, there's no scenario where Voldemort would have a child with Bellatrix Lestrange.
I mean, maybe.
Because he's incapable of it.
If he's egotistical enough. What do you think?
Does he have a peen?
Probably not. He lost his nose. It's a metaphor. That's why he's so mad. Huh.
Well, Spencer, I think you mean to say angry because mad is a word for insanity and...
Well, he's that too.
I guess.
No, Bellatrix is. He's more like composed. He's evil for evil's sake. She's chaotic evil. He's whatever that other evil is. But
he's pure evil.
Pure evil. Yeah.
Like, what is his motivation other than just being? I don't think he even I think it's partially because of his birth, circumstances of his birth being the result of a love potion and not being naturally conceived. So he was born out of a loveless relationship, so he's incapable of any of that, and his humanity is on a thread even after he was just a normal boy.
That's right.
But What a tragic, in a way, tragic figure, but he's still just evil.
Evil. Yeah,
and yes, there's a metaphor for, obviously, Muggle-born versus pure blood, and being a litmus test for, like Hitler and the Aryan race and all that nonsense.
And the Jewish people,
yeah. It
is a big metaphor, kind of. She took inspiration from it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, this I can't.
And it's wrong. It's taught to the reader that it's wrong. To the viewer, this is wrong.
They should be teaching these in history class instead.
Or doing I took a film as literature class. That could be part of that class. Like, study the relationship between, what is the main conflict in Harry Potter? Like, overarching political, social political. Muggle-borns versus purebloods, and how does that relate to real-world struggles? You could do the same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And why do you think these stories are so universally
villain motivations
accepted and loved? Because
they're familiar.
Yeah.
People can relate to them because they're just close enough to like reality where it's like, oh, this makes sense. I get their motivation. I get why they're evil. They're evil. I don't agree with anything, but I get why. Like, I understand it because we've learned about this.
There's such a dichotomy that we can think that what someone says in a movie is evil and terrible and awful, but we see it happening in real life, and there are people in our reality that agree with it, or they use pretzel logic to convince themselves that it's fine, or, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
In their own logic, they agree with this person. Like, in reality, there would be people that actually agreed with Voldemort.
Yeah, which is just bonkers, but
like how people are, and it's through fear. Like, that was the reason how Grindelwald got people to join him, was like, oh, think of what the Muggles would do. Like, in their war is going to have consequences on us, so therefore we have to control them and keep them in check. Like a virus.
It all stems from fear. All of it. It all does. Even the bad guys.
Fear drives people to do things that they normally wouldn't do, or to believe things that they should know is not right. Because you just want to
latch on to something that gives you a little bit of hope. Okay,
and security.
Well, if we get rid of them all, security.
Like with Emperor Palpatine, and like peace, law and order, peace and security. We're going to really batten down the hatches on these insurrectionists and and that's partially why it's like, oh, we're going to wear people down with war, and then we're going to wear them down so badly that they're going to want somebody, a figure, to step up to the plate, to rally behind, and then they'll be accepting of a totalitarian state because they want equilibrium in society again. They just want peace in society, and this person and their ideas are going to bring that, even at the expense of someone else's freedoms
or lives.
And dignity or lives.
Yeah, is bad news.
But in this case, I don't really see how the Muggles are really threatening the wizards in this era of the wizarding
But they
world.
had to make up a narrative to get followers and have power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it boils
Interesting.
down to. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Dobby.
Hold on. Okay. Just hold on. Okay? We'll fix you. Hermione, have something in your bag. Hermione. Help me!
Such a beautiful place to be with friends. Dobby is happy to be with his friend, Harry Potter.
I'm pumped to finish it out strong. This has been our longest one in a while. So, with some breaks in between for personal reasons, as we touched on. But I'm ready to just finish it off. I've been waiting for this one. No, but
you're all gung ho about doing Harry Potter. I'm so excited. And now you're like, I'm ready to be done, man.
No, not ready. I'm excited that we've come this far and now we get to wrap it up, whether good or bad.
It's like the movie posters for Deathly Hallows Part 2. It ends here, or this is the end, or
exactly
the end is come.
If there was 3 more books and movies, well, there is. We're just not doing them.
But these characters have come a long way.
Yeah.
Like 5-6 years of conflicts galore at school. I can't learn a damn thing. But this is a good movie. I like it. I like the road aspect. It takes a different perspective away from the Hogwarts every year theme. And now we're in the real world, where there are real threats in the real world. We don't have Dumbledore around. We're on our own. Like when they get to Grimmauld Place and they're testing the house, checking the house out for security, we're alone. They're alone. They're the only ones that know about their mission. They haven't even told the Order. It's literally just Harry, Ron, and Hermione who know about the Horcruxes, and they're alone. They don't have any backup. So it just creates an interesting context compared to the other movies. And I like how we get like traditional cinematography when we're in the wizarding environment, but then when we're like tossed into the real world or something, we get the handheld, and the lighting is harsher. If you notice that,
I'm a sucker for handheld stuff too, and it's all great in this.
When they're in the coffee shop, when they're walking the streets of London in that main square area, the lighting's harsher. We're out of the safety of the burrow now. We're out in the open. We got to be careful.
That's right.
And one thing I didn't like, all that I like. I thought it was a good adaptation of the first half of the book.
Sure.
They did a really good job, minus the worm tail thing. Yeah. It's shot well. It looks good. The characters are well acted, decently acted, and the mirror. Totally just introduced, needed to be established in 2 movies ago, because now it literally just shows up out of nowhere. He has this magic mirror that we didn't know about until the beginning of the movie.
But people that didn't read, just movie watchers, like, the hell?
And that becomes important in the next movie and in the book, because it's who helped them. People in the movie think, oh, that looked like Dumbledore in the glass. Is he helping them? But no. But somebody who's close to Dumbledore. It is
Dumbledore.
It is, but not the one we think.
No, because Dumbledore's the last name.
But
remember that, kids.
Why they could have sent? Why if they would? J.K. Rowling could have said, "Hey, and by the way, this mirror between Sirius and Harry, that's going to be an important player in the book 7. Just to let you know,
and it is covered.
We need to set it up
in the texts.
Yes, but now it's just he has this thing all of a sudden, and now it's okay.
Now it gets us there. Yeah.
Other than that, really, really, really like the movie.
The
Very
first
good
instance of a true setup movie. Was this the first franchise that did a part 1 and part 2 of a movie?
Yeah, I think it was.
They started a friggin' trend.
But this did it right, I think.
Yeah.
I think this one does it right.
Twilight tried. And
Twilight Breaking Dawn didn't necessarily need it.
And then the Insurgent movies did it.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of the studios, I think, suspect just did that to try and make some more cheddar.
Yeah, they did. All right, play us out. I'm tired.
Oh, wow. You didn't even give your final thoughts yet.
I thought I did. I kind of did. I've been going through it.
Okay.
Just that it's a setup movie, but I was in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was in it, and it set everything else. It set the next one up nicely with, we're in a dark place right now where we left our heroes. They lost. I mean, yeah, they got to safety, but they lost. I mean, Voldemort is getting what he wants.
I always like stories like that.
They're emotionally drained.
Where the heroes try so hard, and they have small
Infinity
successes, War. and exactly that's exactly.
And that's as much as we'll say about that.
Infinity War. The heroes have small successes, as I keep saying, blah blah blah, but the villain ultimately ends up being successful, like in Ocarina of Time. If you remember the story of that game, where you collect the 3 stones at the beginning of the game as a kid. And it's like, okay, we can use these stones in the Ocarina of Time to get the Master Sword and defeat Ganondorf to keep him from getting the Triforce. But little did you know that he was leading you on to get the 3 stones in the Ocarina, so you would open the door and he could sneak in behind you and get what he wanted. So the villain wins in that sense, and then you fast forward into the future, and you have the whole adult Link stuff where Ganondorf wins and he's the king of evil and everything. I like stories like that.
I should get another Nintendo 64. I sold mine in a time of desperation.
Well, if I have a Switch, I could sell it to you. You could borrow it. You can play Ocarina of Time on that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I want to play is I want to finish that game. I want to play through it. But anyway,
great story, great narrative.
Yeah.
But that's what it's like. That's a good storytelling device.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And we'll find out how it all ends.
It's coming to an end. You heard it here. We're on the
big announcement for the next one coming up.
That's true. That's true.
In the couple episodes. So.
Penultimate episode of Sequelman the podcast, coming to the ending conclusion of our Harry Potter franchise series. Not the true ending. We got this next upcoming episode. That's part 2 of Deathly Hallows. Then the wrap up. But we're coming to the end of actually covering each individual movie.
Yep.
It's been a good, interesting.
Bittersweet.
It's been a bittersweet journey going through all these movies.
Mainly sweet.
But I think we have a lot to say about the next one. We're gonna have a lot to say about it.
Yep.
And it seems like there's not too much to cover in the second part of the book that the second movie covers, but they make it. They do it. And there's some fan favorite moments, in my opinion, from the next one. But that's exactly that. That's the next one. I'm excited. But before we get to that proper, how we do it normally every episode, this has been Sequelman the podcast, the Deathly Hallows Part 1 edition. We're excited to have you here. We're glad you tuned in and listened and made it to the end. And if you want to catch our other episodes in the Harry Potter series, if you skipped ahead and listened to this one, we got all the other ones up wherever you like to listen to your podcasts.
We do.
Podbean, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to them.
Yeah. And if you want to interact with us, we're on social medias. I mentioned at the top the Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. And give us a shout on one of those, or at least follow. Give us a follow. Tell some friends, stuff like that. And
you know what?
Keep spreading that sequel word.
That's right. I have nothing else to add to that, actually.
Okay. Perfect.
With that, we can't wait until the next one.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequelman the podcast, all films are created sequel. Take care.
So Spencer, I gotta tell you a little story here.
Yeah.
I was at my nephew's t-ball game this evening at 6. 4-year-olds. Dozens of 4-year-olds on the field.
Everybody's safe. Nobody's out.
Everybody's safe. Nobody's out. And everybody runs after the ball after it's hit. And there's kids looking at the ground, kicking the dirt, picking up dirt and putting it in their gloves and pouring it out. And there's kids. I saw a kid going like with his helmet.
Yeah.
And it's so adorable and hilarious to watch at the same time, because like this, it's good to get them involved in the sports.
Yeah.
But just seeing all these kids and the adults trying to like helping them play, and it was a good thing to see. It was entertaining, that's for sure.
Good.